We're taking over!
Pay me like Natty. I want paying like Natty. That face is perfect, Uncle.
Here you go. Veteran Natalia unhappy after WWE on Fox priced her at $1.
Oh, is
That's
she
really
worth more?
fucking higher.
Is she worth more? What is she doing?
No. She's in a tag team with fucking Dana Brooke. Yeah, your career's on the up, you stupid bitch.
Oh dear.
Yeah, okay.
Let me see if I can post it in. Let me see if I can post it in the chat just so you can actually see it. So I'm not holding it up to
the screen somewhat. But yeah, it's a case of like, you know, your high point of it. You're in a tag team with basically a plank of wood. Yeah.
She's plank from Ed, Ed and Eddie. Can someone please put her face on that? That'd be fucking brilliant. Someone please do that. Oh.
Yes. Oh God, yes, please. That's I think I might have a new pet project.
It was funny a few weeks ago. She just getting planted on her head. It's like, please stop putting her in her head. It became, and the first couple of times it's like, oh my God, that's like it just got really funny. She just keeps getting it.
There you go.
Oh shit, where'd it go?
So yeah, so in the $1 section you've got Liv Morgan, Ruby Wright, Natalia, and Peyton Royce.
Yeah.
But then you got Kaylee Ray at $4, so go figure.
Well, yeah,
that's because she's
the longest reigning champion in current WWE at the moment, even though she's only defended the belt about 4 times in 3 years.
There you go.
The fucking women's roster into an escort service.
Well, the thing is, though, if we're judging value on that, if Kaylee Ray's worth $4 because she's defended the belt like 6 times, shouldn't R-Truth be around about $1 million compared to this?
No, because he's had 407 reigns but never defended it.
No successful defending anyway.
This is a fair point, sir.
Oh God.
I see. But yeah, we're kicking this off, just on the fly. You're listening to the Lost Art of Wrestling, and if you're expecting Coxy's voice to bring you into the show, the brave gentleman put me in charge.
For whatever reason.
Because he's a lazy fucker.
First 20 minutes is just sort of rinsing Coxy. When did he start talking about his editing? When did he start talking about the fucking wrestling? When he stole in minutes of Coxy's a cunt.
Coxy knows what he done.
He does. It's all right. We can. I'll give him another chance. Right, you're not even to blow me.
It's not cheating on you. I'll give him another chance.
Yeah.
It's fucking Conor McGregor's sort of like, I'd like to apologise for absolutely nobody.
So yeah, I am going to be your host for this episode of Lost Art of Wrestling. I am allegedly, definitely stupid, but allegedly sexy.
God,
I should be sexy for this.
Shouldn't be next to the word sexy. Shouldn't be next to the word sexy. I'm sorry. No, take that word away from that.
At least I don't think I'm sexy. That's why I'm allegedly sexy.
No, the word allegedly shouldn't be next to sexy. There's court cases every week where they say that. You shouldn't fucking.
Grab pen and paper, note to self, expand vocabulary.
It's not about expand. I think you need to stop expanding it, in all honesty.
To be honest with you, Anne, we always keep expanding your, plethora of nicknames, and I like to think that we've built you up as a very.
Yeah, but I don't use the word allegedly, do I? It takes a very serious tone when you go allegedly.
So yes, the other voices you can hear, we'll start with the guy that we built up the most, the man who has an upside down head. It's Anthony Dark.
Yeah. The only bald man in Blackpool. It's a fact.
It is. It is. It's always sunny in Blackpool. You see. It's always sunny in Blackpool. You see, so we need that hair on our head. But yes.
I know.
Also, joining us from, your usual host from What Sort of Wrestling? Signed, sealed, delivered. He was formerly a Dazzler.
Worryingly.
Careful now.
Yeah, this could go either way, this now.
It's Billy the Boy Bunkle.
How are you doing, sir? Here to put the wrestling world to rights and prove that I am, of course, correct.
Yes.
It'll be one of them shows, people.
It's going to be one of those. And also joining us tonight is the man belovedly known as the Stowaway, Lewis Ogden.
Hello, party people. I don't know where I was going.
Wow, that was.
I don't know where I was going with that intro.
He's lost. He's lost at the minute now, because when he doesn't do the Phoenix pod, he's got a very. He knows where he is. It's his comfort zone now.
Yeah.
Any other pockets like, I got an intro. What do I do?
So confused.
So yeah, we'll see as we're confused. We can talk about this sort of like story that we started off with. Was that Natalia was extremely butthurt about some meme where there was one of these memes where you rate wrestlers, you got $15, whatever it is, and there's like a table of wrestlers that are all worth a value. You got to pick a roster, and you've got a budget of say $15, whatever. And Natty was in the lowest tier, and she got extremely butthurt about this.
I've got the article, the post that she put on social media in response, if you want to read this out.
Yeah, go for it.
I have struggled for years to figure out exactly what my worth is, but I won't allow anyone to pick that number for me. As hurtful as seeing this is, I want it to be known that if I ever find myself under all of these wonderful women, it's because I am a pillar and a foundation of what we're doing. So please keep the $1, because anyone who knows anything knows how priceless I am.
All right, Diana, calm down. Fuck you now. What is that about?
No, I was just...
I dare someone to edit it and just put her below and just put 50 cents next. I dare someone. Brilliant. If you listen to this, do it now.
Half-price sale.
I was just reenacting how I think she sort of like was worked. Well, how she was sort of like, saying it to herself as she was typing it out.
Absolutely.
That's the kind of tone I think that she's probably put into this.
Stroke a cat. Fucking hell, okay. Whinging cow.
What is she currently doing on television at this moment in time? Bearing in mind, this meme is based on the current product as it is right now.
And it's a meme.
It is a meme. You don't take it seriously. Like, for example, we don't really think Kaylee Ray's worth $4, do we? It's...
it depends. I was going to say, it depends what you're getting for $4 here. Sorry, I took it to lowest common denominator there.
Yeah, this is my job, you cunt. People expect that from me, not you. Back in the corner with you, pal.
Jesus Christ. I was going to say this isn't even Coxy Street in Blackpool. This is the back alley behind Coxy Street, that value. Jesus Christ. But, what is she actually doing to warrant herself to be higher up this scale if she really wants to take this seriously, which she shouldn't? Nothing really. What we brought up, she's basically, tag teaming up with a plank of wood called Dana Brooke at the minute.
a very concussed plank of wood.
Exactly. She's in the Hampstead town at best. That's how she's always was most of her career. She's been a jobber to the stars, shall we say? The Dolph Ziggler of the females division.
Look, at the end of the day, you can't still make it in this business and not be able to cut a promo. Can Natalia cut a promo? Absolutely not.
No.
She always walks to the ring, puts her arms and goes, ha, like that. She always just starts really funny.
Well, to be honest with you, she doesn't come from a wrestling family that's known for having good promos.
No.
I mean, Owen Hart in his heyday could very well cut a promo. I think the only time that Bret Hart was an effective promo was when he started fucking moaning about everything. And
lots of sunny days for the Hart family.
Yeah, around about that time. But that was as a condescending heel, and he was great at it. But that's only like one aspect of promo. If you ask him to cut a great fucking fiery babyface promo, I've seen some of his stuff in the new generation, and it is fucking wooden as fucking the plank from Ed, Edd and Eddy. Obscure reference, I know, but
we got it.
People don't get that. I'm going to be so disappointed. I might not sleep.
I know, but if you're going to take this meme seriously, right? Let's just, for argument's sake, let's just see it from Natalia's point of view. And they put me on the lowest rating on the thing. Think about what you're doing right now. You're enhancement talent at best, and you're mushing your tits up against your sister. That is all you're doing right now.
To be honest with you, there's only one appropriate fucking response to that. I mean, if I were fucking this, well, if it were me and I was put on the $1 bracket, I'd be like, cracking. Somebody like making a roster is getting a fucking bargain.
There's that. This is a bargain, yeah, but also it's like, just grow up.
Yeah,
grow up. You
prove people wrong.
Yeah, prove people wrong, and there's that as well. But you're a woman pushing 40, getting towards the 40. Surely you should have grown a thicker skin by now.
Nah. Really pushing 40?
She's in the late 30s. She'll be in the late 30s now. I don't know for certain.
I'll tell you someone who has pushed.
38.
Yeah, I'll tell you someone who has pushed 40 today. On the time of recording, Joanna Rose.
All right.
Is apparently 40 because I still follow her on Twitter, and it was just sort of like, wow.
One word.
40, really?
One word. Filth. Moving on.
Indeed.
But yeah, moving on. Yeah, Natalia should really not really take that seriously. It's a joke. It's all it is.
Get more foundation on your love, because that's the only way you're going to get thicker skin.
Exactly. Or even better than that, use it as a kick up the arse.
Which won't
simple
happen.
As that.
Because you're not WWE.
Because she's, end of the day,
go into obscurity and shut up.
And if you really want to take it to the most sort of like basic manner, are you going to be earning any more money if you were $5 on that meme? Probably not. Move on.
It's nice she's made herself relevant for a day.
Yeah.
Every credit to her. Well done.
Couple of hours.
A couple of hours until AEW signs somebody else.
Give it time, because their next signing's a blockbuster signing. That's
you can watch
Sunday.
it live on ITV Box Office on Sunday. Okay. Pay me, Chris, you cunt. No.
So yeah, we may as well go into that. The big coup, the big signing that AEW seemed to have had in the past week? No more big slow, just Paul White.
No more BS. No more BS.
Yeah, big signing, Paul White.
No more big. Yeah, no more BS. Is it? No more big signing because you signed Paul White.
Paul White's a fucking cunt. Sorry.
No, how is he? How is he?
How is he what?
He's gone. He's like basically gone to the modern day Eric Bischoff and gone, hey, want to give me a buttload of fucking cash? I'll come and appear on your TV show. And he's gone, okay.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. Oh no, I can't argue with what he's done. No arguments, at all with what he's done. It's just, honestly, I've never got it. I've seen him live and I don't think it was impressive. And at the end of the day, has he ever gotten over as a heel or babyface? No. Has he ever been a heel or babyface longer than 20 minutes? No. Waste of time.
Trendy.
Yeah, it's a waste of time. But the thing is, though, he's a very savvy businessman, shall we say, because he's just earned himself a butt ton of money for basically sitting on a chair and speaking into a microphone. And
I hear he's sort of like very recently come under sort of like financial difficulties. Sort of like because it explains sort of like the Netflix show that he got and sort of like the odd couple of appearances up until very recently.
Hang on. Stop! Everybody stop! Uncle, what the fuck is that?
What? That is the North Korean flag.
Why is that on there? Fuck me!
What?
maybe it's where WWE are going next.
Screen grab. Get the screen grab.
I am no longer embarrassed by this. Kim Young fucking uncle over there,
No, we get to get back to the topic at hand.
Yeah, can we please?
To get back to the topic
please change it. It's fucking distracting.
Yeah, I kept hearing. I heard through sort of like the grapevine that he come under sort of like financial difficulties, which explains the Netflix show, which was great success. Cancelled after one season. Cough, cough. Hush, hush. And this is the signing with AEW, which is what it is.
It's money in it. It's guaranteed money. He's going to be on screen. He's going to be somewhat relevant, whereas he wasn't in WWE, which obviously means after his WWE contract would have been up, he would have been sort of like devalued. Does that make sense?
I think he would probably have got a Legends contract, wouldn't he? But I just think they're obviously not as lucrative as a contract for, an active superstar.
Yeah, because they could have paid him to do stuff. I mean, look at Sting. He was on a Legends contract. Yeah, so he's obviously gone to AEW because they must have been paying him more money to actually do stuff. And obviously, if he was interested in doing stuff, which clearly he was, in a business sense, it makes sense to go there.
Yeah, well, for him and him alone.
Exactly. Yeah, for him and him alone, if it's more money in his bank account, it makes sense, doesn't it? But
that's why I always see with sort of like the Big Show situation, because Big Show always appears to me that I would like to think the way that this whole thing went down would be him going to Vince of like, look, I realise that you can't offer ludicrous amount of money, but I've got this ludicrous offer from a different company. I would want to go and sort of like make this money, and I don't think Vince would have any sort of like hard feelings to it, because at the end of the day, Vince McMahon first and foremost is a businessman. Yes. He's a businessman, and he will know that sort of like he will know the value of getting as much money as you possibly can. Hence, hence WWE's deal with Peacock.
Yep, yeah. I could somewhat actually relate to it in a way. It goes back years, and I was working in a care home, and I was applying for work elsewhere, and I got more hours and a higher pay elsewhere. And obviously applied for the job, got the job. And the boss came up to me and went, "Why did you apply for that job?" This is more hours, more money. And the boss just went, "All right, well, fair enough." It's like, people do understand that when you move on for more money, it's not personal. It's not a slight as such. No. You'd be a fool not to go where the money is.
Well, I just look at it like, look at Kurt Angle going to TNA. Kurt Angle went somewhere where he got paid more money. They weren't as worried about his failing wellness tests and whatnot. And you look when he come back to the WWE, came back. Vince McMahon gave him a hug, said welcome home, and that was that. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, he's not daft. You know, I know people think he is, but he ain't.
He's not daft. He's a fucking lunatic off the top.
He's a lunatic, but a business genius. I mean, he's making like you know what I mean. He's for example, this deal with Peacock. It's shit that's already out there. Yeah. You know what I mean? It's it's shit that's already in the ether, and he's making money off that. He's already made money off.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He's made an obscene amount of money on this Peacock deal.
And even more, if you look at the network, he stopped paying royalties because he put stuff on the network, so he no longer had to pay wrestlers who appear on the shows royalties. How smart is that?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They lose out on royalties from DVD sales, etc., but all of them lose out on it because they don't have anything in their contracts from 1982 or whatever it is to take the network into account.
Yeah, because it didn't exist and it wasn't even thought of. So it makes sense. I mean, obviously, maybe contracts nowadays, it might be written different to say you can't have royalties for stuff that's on the network, maybe. I don't know. But it just shows, people consider like Vince McMahon to be senile and fucking stupid and doesn't know what he's doing. He's out of touch. But tell you something, he's not out of touch when it comes to business.
No.
Far from it.
Mm-hmm.
Far from it. And it's...
That's why no aspiring, wrestling promotion, as much as they sort of want to get to that level of challenge in WWE, they're not going to do anytime soon.
They can't, because if WWE really wants a wrestler, unless they're ingrained and say WWE bad, must never go there, they're going to go because they're going to be bought. It's as simple as that. They will be bought. Unless they've got their hands in a company like the Young Bucks, like Kenny Omega, like Cody Rhodes, like Jericho maybe, who have got some somewhat of goings on with a company. They, no one is beyond being bought that, because WWE said, oh, is that what you're getting paid? We could up it. And if you're smart, you'll go, regardless whether you get used or not.
Mm.
If you got guaranteed money for sitting on your backside eating catering, why would you take less, at least in the short term anyway, to actually risk... Yeah, I think you guys get what I mean, but...
Yeah.
It's WWE, that business savvy. It's sort of like, how do you compete?
Just going back on that point where sitting on your backside in catering, doing nothing, getting paid shit ton. At what point does that get boring for the wrestler themselves?
Oh yeah, don't get me wrong. It could be.
I'm talking out my well, ta-da, you know where I'm coming from. But as someone who, now we said this for years. Well, I certainly said it. I know a lot of people thought it as well. Miro, also known as Rusev, was wasted in a shitty angle with Bobby Lashley. It was a shitty angle. What was he doing in WWE? He is so much better than that. How many times did we hear it? How many times did we say it? He's better than this. He's better than that. He should be doing something else. He should go here. He should go there. And then he went. Fair dues to him. You know what I mean?
What's he doing in AEW now, though? That's the thing.
I was going to say, he's in possibly an even worse storyline where he's feuding over a broken computer game, a wedding that got trashed, and he somehow didn't notice.
The wedding didn't get trashed.
He didn't notice somebody handcuffing him to a rope.
That's because they're that good. They are that good.
They're that good.
He's that good. They're that cheeky.
Rogar. Sorry, I'm calling you Rogar because I got it in my head. You know this.
He's that good. He's so quiet. He's silent. He's like, okay, 100.
He rolled a nat 20. Uncle, he rolled a nat 20 on his stealth check. There you go.
At the end of the day, he's in a feud that is no better than what he was in the WWE.
Orange Cassidy's one of the most over people at the minute.
He's a fucking disgrace.
He's one of
You can say he's over, whatever you want. He's an absolute disgrace.
Are we doing this debate now? Because I was going to save this for later.
No, you want to save it for later?
No, they're just getting too far ahead of themselves.
They're getting ahead of themselves. But yeah, we do still have somewhat of a main event later on, but we'll get into that later. But yeah, we were talking about the big slow, essentially, wasn't it? Signing with AEW. For fan base sort of thing, it's one of them. It doesn't make sense, but business-wise for Big Show, or Paul White as he is now, well, it's his real name, makes sense. It makes sense.
At the end of the day, he's getting paid and he doesn't have to take any bumps.
Yep. Yeah, well, to win the net.
Yeah, I was about to say.
I sort of understand the signing and I don't at the same time. I understand it in terms of it's a familiar face, maybe not a familiar name, it's a familiar face on your show, which will bring in fans of that face or people who have recognised that face before, and they will tune in and say, oh, he's on this show now, oh, that was a bit of good, and then switch off and never watch again, or they might stay and see what they like. It's bringing in new people to watch program. End of. However, I do not get it, because what the fuck is he going to do?
Well,
he's there to announce, isn't he?
He's commentating for the third program to call from All Elite Wrestling. Elevation or Revelation or Elevator or, something beginning with E.
another
Ecstasy.
Yeah, there you go. If you put it this way, to compare it with some sort of show that WWE got, it's the undercard for Velocity.
I just love
Diet Velocity.
I just love the fact that it took WCW just under 3 years of the existence of Nitro to get a second show, and AEW Dynamite isn't even is it just over 2 years old or just under 2 years old?
Year and a half. It's a year and a half. October 20.
And now they've got 3 shows.
Is that not because, I know AEW is free to watch on YouTube, and he's named after me, so I do get loyalties from that. Do you not think that's come from the success, and I hope I'm right in saying this, of NWA, and seeing how popular that's been amongst wrestling fans? Essentially, what is a free weekly wrestling show? A pretty decent free wrestling show, pretty decent one at that. I think, if I was looking to entice pro wrestling fans, I think, okay, they've got their free show on YouTube. Let's have a free show on YouTube as well. Not saying
they've already done that.
They've already got a free show on YouTube.
They've already done that with AEW.
Yeah, and nobody watches it.
So why are they adding a third?
I do. Well, I heard myself that was awful.
Here's the thing you got to remember though as well. If it was that successful and it was that lucrative, why aren't WWE doing that? WWE are basically got their YouTube channel. They have excerpts of matches, old matches from the past, and interviews and things like that. Maybe lists and things like that they have on their channel.
Because
if it was
I presume they don't want to be the same, but they want to. It's a very, very complicated thing, and of course we're not going to solve it tonight, because sweet baby Jesus, we're not going to solve fucking anything tonight. If anything, we're going to create more. We're going to make you more confused as the fucking podcast goes on.
If anything's going to happen tonight, people are going to be more confused, and monitors are going to be smashed. I can see this coming tonight.
I understand what AEW are trying to do. Before you fucking jump on me fucking back, you lot. Can we just change the podcast to my annual rinsing? And just have it every year.
Make it sound like a hospital trip.
You know what? It fucking feels like it.
The thing is, AEW are doing exactly the same thing that WWE are doing. WWE have done for years. They're oversaturating the product.
Yeah. No, I agree.
And to be honest, I don't want to badmouth the company much yet. Don't worry, that's coming later. But
guess when I'm taking my piss break, people.
No, but the thing I don't get about AEW is that they have this. There seems to be this aura that they're the true competition. They're like the equivalent to what WCW was to WWF during the Monday Night Wars. And the fact is, it isn't. Like, I mean, we'll probably touch on about it with the decision of the long-term future of NXT. But you can't call it. You can call like the Wednesday Night Wars whatever you want to call it. I don't see it as sort of like a war. I just see it as sort of like a.
WWE doesn't.
Well, yeah, exactly. Because the thing is, like, I look at like the Wednesday Night Wars of seeing how this current modern day war isn't connecting with the modern audience, and that relates into a thing of like wrestling isn't hot. It hasn't been hot for fucking years on end, and I can't tell you. I can't tell you what the decision on sort of like AEW was going to be when they initially set it up. Whether they just wanted it to be their own separate wrestling company, whether they wanted it to be competition for WWE, I can't tell you. Because the thing is, if they are looking at it as doing their sort of like their style of wrestling and they're happy with the way things are going, then fair enough. But if they're looking at it as competition for WWE, sorry, it isn't. No,
you've got to look at it this way. They've topped 1 million viewers, maybe twice in the 2 years. It's an extremely cheap show for TNT. They don't pay they pay an incredibly low rate for it to be on their TV show. Is on their TV channel? Is it profitable? Is AEW profitable? Yes, but does that necessarily mean that it's going to take on the WWE? Like you say, no. You have a set number of viewers that range between 700,000 and 1 million people that like what you do, like the silly gymnastics that you put on, and they enjoy it. Good for them. But you're never going to take on the WWE. It's just not possible. You don't have the pull because you are focused on the people that are going to watch every single week. Yeah, it's the same people that read the Observer now. They are the people that think they're in the know and this, that, and the other. Think they're smart. Think they're smarts. They watch the show. This is what they enjoy, and then Dave Meltzer goes, "These are the people who listen to my show, read my newsletter. I like that too."
That's a beautiful segue. That absolutely beautiful segue. Where
I'm a pro.
He's a pro at this. You can tell. You can tell he podcasts weekly. But yeah, a certain list came out this week, and all I can say is it's caused a little bit of controversy in our little group and on the internet as a whole, I would say. Yeah, it's the Wrestling Observer.
Guess you brought it to everyone's attention.
Yeah. But yeah, it's a certain gentleman in this sort of podcast. They'll remain nameless. They sort of gleefully went, "Look at this list," and we went, "No."
Not nameless, but hairless. But okay.
Yeah, there you go. It's like, no. How dare you sully this group chat with this?
Well, I don't know if you were that jumping for joy with said list. No, I think you were just like making a point of it.
To be honest with you, I did think, what a load of rubbish.
Yeah. Well,
I did think, what a load of rubbish.
Yeah, because we went through that list with a fine-tooth comb, and it was just sort of like, right, okay.
When it's so heavily swayed in one direction, it can't. I'm sorry, it can't. Something's not right.
This is my point, though. It's voted on by the people who read the Wrestling Observer newsletter, and it's the people who watch AEW and nothing else.
Yeah,
it is.
Yeah, you can sum that list up with the match of the year bracket alone.
Yeah.
Because the two best matches that I saw from last year were 5th and 6th chronologically. and
Easily the best match I saw last year was fifth. Easily the best match I saw.
In terms of, because obviously these awards, to some extent, unfortunately, hold a bit of weight. Hang on, because I can see you're fucking all ready to jump down and piss in the throat. Hold some weight with
Uncle.
people who read the Wrestling Observer, hang off Uncle Dave, what Uncle Dave says all the time, all year, all month, whatever. They hold some weight to them people. In terms of ourselves, who don't just watch one thing, we watch everything. That sounds a bit.
Yeah, you're giving us too much credit there, mate.
Yeah.
What we do, we don't just watch one product. We watch it. I don't like using the word products. We don't just watch one show. We watch the NWA. I watch AEW. We all watch WWE. And to see these awards go so heavily towards one company, I think is doing a lot of wrestlers and a lot of people who outshine said people who got awards. It does them dirty. I want to say it does them really dirty. And I think it's really unfair on people who are so obviously. I mean, there was a few there, the male wrestler and female wrestler, I really took exception to. Because, again, yes, I'm an AEW fan, but I can tell you for now that not one person in that company had a standout year above the people I've selected. No way.
There's another big issue about that list as well. And obviously, you've got into how, it's very heavily weighted towards one side. It's like
all the positives awards are very one-sided, and all the negative awards are very one-sided to another company. We should probably say.
There is that as well, but there is that. But you got to realise is the credibility of Dave Meltzer. Looking at that, for me, it was already waning as it was. But now, looking at that list, it's like, into question, it's fucking gone.
Yeah.
It's gone. There is no credibility to Dave Meltzer anymore, whatsoever.
I took exception when he started talking more positive stuff about AEW than he did for sort of like New Japan this year. And like Dave Meltzer is a fucking mega. Well, I realise I'm a mega mark for New Japan, but Dave Meltzer in years past has been like a mega mark for fucking New Japan in the past, and it's been very few and far between. I think the only sort of like bits here and there that have been prominent have been from the G1 tournament. Everything else has been primarily AEW related.
Yeah, and I think I know what Uncle Dave is to AEW and what AEW is to Uncle Dave, obviously, and the relationship him and the Young Bucks, Matt and Nick Jackson, have had over the years, and probably Kenny Omega as well.
And for Olivier,
I cannot. It did baffle me, because as much as I like to see the company I love the most win the most awards, I can't honestly say to you on this podcast now, to you guys, saying that the people from that company that won the awards or the matches or whatever deserved it.
Yeah,
I can't really say. I can't say that.
You would prefer them sort of like winning the awards based on merit rather than it be like a case of, yes, they're being given the awards, so that means it's factually true.
I'm sorry, it lowers the award for me, because obviously, I don't take them as like the Oscars or things like that, but they are sort of semi-important when they come out. You want to see who people think's on top, or who's doing, or what people like.
It's a badge of honour, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly. And to see it come out this year wasn't like that. It was like, what the hell is this about? And it was, what the hell is this about?
Mm.
And in the defence coming out saying, oh, it's people that read the Wrestling Observer, it's them who vote on it.
It's not just them, though. It's not just them, though. It's like, it's other, like, wrestling journalists, and it's other, like, other people who contribute to sort of, like, you know, wrestling sites and all that.
I look at that and I thought, did they watch New Japan this year? Did they watch any WWE? Did they watch any other? Did they watch any other company? Did they acknowledge anyone else from any other company?
No. There's no ROH, no TNA, no fucking New Japan.
It is so frustrating. I mean, I don't want to suck Bunkle's cock too much tonight, because he's going to be surprised at what I'm going to say now. But if you're going to tell me, I think the best champion of any company over the last couple of years, shall we say, as a whole, has been Nick Aldis. And I don't think that man has ever got the credit he deserves from Uncle Dave, from... I'm sorry, but if I was WWE, I'd be throwing money at him. I don't care who his wife is, I do care who his wife... Oh, never mind. Different story. Seriously now, that he doesn't get enough credit. He has taken that NWA title from obscurity to, like, what the hell is that he's got, to that's the NWA, and all of a sudden it's fucking important again in the pro wrestling world.
Yeah.
How about we just have a little bit of a Nick Aldis? I haven't given him the award, by the way, but
guys,
obviously the man has done something.
Yeah.
And he's been. Yeah. I don't think he was even in the nominations for the damn award, which was equally frustrating. I don't think he's been in the nominations at all. It's plain ignorance. It's ignorance, I think.
I think that Nick Aldis has very much suffered for the fact that he only really appeared in, like, mainstream wrestling for, you know, the very first couple of months of the year. You know, obviously hasn't helped with, like, the global bastard being, you know, a
global bastard.
Being
a global bastard.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, I agree with you, Ant. I mean, like the only wrestler I can think off the top of my head that has taken a championship which, you know, has had, like, significant fucking legacy or lenience and has taken it to the fucking stratosphere has been this is me personally, but it's the Kazuchika Okada reign with the IWGP title, where he sort of, like, you know, record-breaking amount of title defenses. You know, it was like a 480 odd day reign, and, you know, every single one of those title defenses, everything about it was different. You know, it was different opponents, different style of match, different, you know, emotions, different sort of, like, connections going on there. And in doing that, he raised the IWGP Championship, which was, you know, one of the most important belts in modern day wrestling, I feel, and sort of, like, you know, took it to the stratosphere. And I feel that Nick Aldis has done exactly the same thing with the NWA title.
I think with the company as well, just in terms of where the company, where the NWA as a company and as a wrestling show was at.
This is it.
It feels important again. Certainly to me, that because that NWA title it's the crown jewel, I think, of the wrestling world. I think you've had, apart from when it was in TNA, but and Rhino had it. No offense, Rhino. Please don't eat me. But but it's important again, and it's important when he's on a show and he has that title.
I agree.
Yeah. Particularly with the fact that the NWA is making a comeback.
Yeah.
Thank God. Thank God.
Thank God. Yeah.
What you got to realise as well is Nick Aldis has made that belt his own.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So to the point where you think, when you think Nick Aldis, you think NWA. You think NWA, you think Nick Aldis.
That's how good he's been.
Yeah, that's how good he has been.
I'll say, I mean, when you think, like, I just think back to when Billy Corgan first bought the NWA. Even Jim Cornette, who grew up watching the NWA, grew up in it, laughed his pants off. They were like, what the fuck is the point? It's been dead in the water for so many years. It means nothing. But now it means something again.
Yep.
And that can only be because of Nick Aldis, because he's the one who's held that title and has dragged it out of the mirth and made it mean something again.
He's not once been given the credit, and someone like Dave Meltzer, whose opinion does hold weight with some people, especially in the wrestling world, for him to not acknowledge someone like Nick Aldis, who has done what he's done for NWA and the NWA title, the most important title in pro wrestling, I do hasten to add, is wrong. I think it goes beyond being biased. It goes beyond being, you're chumming it up with the Young Bucks and Kenny. It goes beyond that, and it says, look, pal, this bloke has done fucking wonders for pro wrestling, for wonders for the NWA, which was believed to be dead, buried, gone, non-existent. What is the NWA? People would say, what's the NWA? People would say that, and he's taken that. They've got a weekly show, which is coming back,
23rd of March.
23rd of March, people. And go and watch the show. It needs your support, because I tell you now, if Dave Meltzer isn't going to give him the credit, I really hope someone bloody does. I hope someone with weight watches that show and goes, that man.
Yeah.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. I do not agree with not even putting him in the A list at all.
Absolutely.
It's disgraceful.
Speaking of the list, shall we go through this list and absolutely rip it a new arsehole live on air?
Yeah, go ahead.
Go for it. So, you got the list, have you, Lewis?
I can get it up, mate.
Ah, right, I see. I thought you
That's
had
reassuring. Every credit.
I did have it at one point.
Yeah.
Right. I've got the post.
Do you want to add filler?
No, it's fine. Just give me a second. Right, okay. So the top of the list is the Lou Fair's Ric Flair Award, which is basically for Wrestler of the Year.
Oh.
And trust me, if you've got to name somebody who meets that.
It was they went with Jon Moxley.
Fucking hell.
Jon Moxley was first. Kenny Omega came in second.
Oh.
Tetsuya Naito was third. Kota Ibushi fourth. Drew McIntyre, Bayley, Go Shiozaki. I don't know who that is. Roman Reigns, Mayu Iwatani, and then Chris Jericho rounds up at number 10.
Chris Jericho.
Fuck
Yeah.
me.
How is he there?
You're going to tell me it's that man there. I can't really see on my tiny little screen. I'm sorry, but every time I look at him, I just think he's in denial of his hairline, first of all.
Yes.
He needs to sort that out. That really irks me, that. And look, that's not. I like Jon Moxley. He's a good wrestler, but he's not fucking bad. He didn't deserve that fucking award. I'm sorry, he didn't fucking deserve that. Fuck that guy.
I'm not going to say he's crap. He's not a crap wrestler. He's not a wrestler of the year material.
He's a good brawler. He's
Yeah.
a really good brawler. But, and I'll tell you the problem that I have found with Jon Moxley. And this came up when I was watching the Moxley-Kenta match from the last week's New Japan Strong show. He relies, as good as a brawler as he is, and I've seen him have fucking outstanding, like, knockdown, drag-out, like, near fights in matches in New Japan. He relies so heavily on fucking weapons. Whether it be a chair, whether it be Kenta's fucking US title shot briefcase, whether it be fucking tables, whether it be the match is going to be involved in this Sunday with the exploding barbed wire deathmatch bollocks. Why? He relies so fucking heavily on the fucking foreign objects.
It's like he wants.
It's piss poor booking.
Do you want me to say it? Do you want me to say it? He's a B-Tech Raven.
Yeah. Honestly,
that's my very blunt opinion of him. He's a B-Tech Raven at the minute.
I think he's
I was going to say he's a wannabe fucking what's his name? Oh, why is the names escaping my head now?
Tommy Dreamer.
Terry Funk.
Oh, that's
The
a good one, yeah.
Terry Funk.
Yeah.
Well, I wouldn't mind, but Terry Funk in his prime was a fantastic wrestler and a technical wrestler. There was none of this. Terry Funk started doing hardcore wrestling in his fucking 70s or whatever it was. Jon Moxley can't wrestle. I honestly believe he can't properly wrestle. He doesn't get it. That's why he left WWE, because he doesn't get it. He worked in the biggest company in the world and managed to make a match with Brock Lesnar fucking dire.
Yeah.
Yeah?
He
doesn't get it. I watched the defense against Kenny Omega on fucking Dynamite. 3 sittings. Kenny Omega beats him. It took me 3 sittings to watch that match. 20 minutes or whatever it was long. 3 sittings. I fell asleep. Every time. Because it was just the same bullshit. It was crap. And it was stupid. Stupid spots. He doesn't get it.
Yeah.
How the best wrestler in the world today? Absolutely fucking not.
No way.
Not even close. Not even close.
Should probably mention as well that he picked up the award for the MVP for the United States and Canada, as well as, if you just give me a second.
He didn't win anything else, does he? Fucking hell.
He did.
He got Feud of the Year for his program with Eddie Kingston.
What?
Yeah, all 2 weeks of it.
And then he got the Bruiser Brody Award for Best Brawler. So just double checking. I don't agree with the best brawler to be honest, because as I said, if you're a best brawler, you don't rely on fucking foreign objects to get you through your matches. Whereas the man who's won the award for consecutive years, I think for like 4 or 5 years or something like that, Tomohiro Ishii, doesn't have to rely on fucking foreign objects because he's, well, as his nickname goes by, the Stone Pitbull, he's a complete fucking badass.
It's fucking brilliant to watch. Please watch anything by Tomohiro Ishii. You'll have a great time, I promise you.
The next one on my list, because we're not doing the MMA awards because we don't watch MMA, it's the most outstanding wrestler. And only winning it by 56 votes, which was surprising, was Jim Cornette's favourite wrestler in the entire world, Kenny Omega.
I thought you were going to say Trevor Murdoch then. We're like,
no, that's my breakout style of the year, man. So the top, 2 to 10. So number 2 was Kota Ibushi. Number 3, Shingo Takagi. Number 4, Tomohiro Ishii. Number 5, Flippy McBussface, also known as Will Ospreay. 6 was Minoru Suzuki. 7, Kazuchika Okada. 8, Hiromu Takahashi. 6, Go Shiozaki. And 10 was Rey Fenix. And you're more of the AEW watcher. Have you seen much progression from Omega for him to be warranted as most outstanding wrestler of the year?
I think Kenny Omega, we saw in New Japan, he's always had a quite high standard of wrestling in terms of his character and just his general performance. Hang on, Bunkle, don't let me. I'm getting to it. However,
in New Japan, I'd say because he wasn't booking himself.
Recently, I've not been. I mean, the thing he had with Hangman Adam Page, I watched all of it, and I must admit, I've never been so bored in my entire fucking life. I was more interested in the excess of my toenails.
And this is coming from the fan.
Yeah. But at the end of the day, I've got to be honest. Yes, I like AEW, but I've got to be honest. I can't bullshit you guys, and I can't bullshit the people listening to this and tell you exactly what Uncle Dave's saying, which is AEW is fantastic. Go and watch it. It's not WWE. It's fantastic. And the problem is, is Kenny Omega a great wrestler? Yes. Watched him in New Japan for years. Yes. Get him in here. However, is he the most outstanding wrestler of these awards? Absolutely fucking not. Absolutely fucking not. I'm sorry.
I mean,
all the people you named after, I'm sorry.
I mean, we'll get onto it when we sort of like give our own awards, but I would say fucking Kota Ibushi had a better year than fucking Omega.
Miles Bay, like you said, every single one of those you named after him,
Yeah.
should have won the award over him.
No problem with about like 7 out of or 6 out of the top 10.
If he doesn't win that award, but he's named in the top 10, I might have the way to blag me way around it. However, I can't see. You can't say that. Come on, he was tag team champion for most of it in a crap sort of feud with Adam Page. Not feud. Storyline. And now he's doing. And I saw him on Impact. And I thought, what the fuck you doing, pal? Come on. That's what I've been like with him. What the fuck are you doing, pal? Come on.
I'm surprised. I'm
to say.
I'm very surprised.
Don't get me wrong. I like him. I enjoy him. Well, that sounds really weird. But,
he probably likes hearing that.
Yeah. No, Kenny, not your time. But no, absolutely doesn't deserve to win an award. Sorry.
Okay. We'll go on to Tag Team of the Year, which wasn't too much of a.
I'm gripping the sofa.
Wasn't really gripping because let's be honest, has anybody really given a shit about tag team wrestling this year?
No.
I mean, like, we'll talk about when we get to our awards. I haven't given an award to Tag Team of the Year because I haven't been keeping up with the Tag Team of the Year. Also, I haven't been watching tag team wrestling because it's been the same shit over and over and over and over and over again.
Tag team wrestling is an afterthought, but the fact that these two fucking Muppets have won this award 7 times is a disgrace.
Mm-hmm.
Honestly, no, right, seriously, right.
I'm not defending it.
I know you're not going to defend it, but I'm just going to put this out there, right. The biggest angle that they could have done was them versus FTR, and they booked it horribly.
Yeah,
it was garbage.
The fact that they went on AEW TV this week and in an in-ring promo directed at Chris Jericho, saying, where would you... In fact, I saved the fucking tweet because I was just sort of like, this is why you are not going to connect with the mainstream audience. Right, let's see.
You know when something just stinks?
Chris, what would you be without AEW? You'd probably be jerking the curtain in the Performance Center. What a stupid fucking comment to make.
They're trying to be edgy, and I hate it when they do this because they do it all the fucking time. It's like, just be your own fucking show. Ignore them idiots, whatever they're doing. Concentrate on your fucking selves.
Yeah.
Jesus.
And I should probably run down the list. So the Young Bucks were named Tag Team of the Year. Second was Kenny Omega and Adam Page.
Sorry, that's it. I'm done. Thank you. Good night.
Third were FTR. Fourth, Zack Sabre Jr. and Tai Chi. Fifth, Bayley and Sasha Banks. Sixth, Josh Alexander and Page.
Pulling names out of a fucking hat. It's so bad, aren't they?
Bunker will like this one. Bunker will like this next one. Seventh was Chuck Taylor and Trent Barretta.
Oh, God.
Eighth, Pentagon Jr. and Ray Phoenix.
Oh, God.
Ninth, Hiroshi Tanahashi and Kota Ibushi. And tied for 10 was Santana and Ortiz and Bobby Fish and Kyle O'Reilly.
How are Bobby Fish and Kyle O'Reilly 10th on that list?
I know. What's not written?
Kenny Omega and Hangman is playing at yourself, you old cunt, Uncle Dave. God. Fucking hell.
What's not written on that list is the honourable mention of Natalia and
Brooke. Dana Brooke.
It's just missing Donald Trump and Mike Pence in it. So it's missing that list, really, isn't it?
Fucking hell.
Bullshit.
Right.
Again, AEW fan still think it's bullshit.
How
Okay.
many tag teams were on that were from AEW?
Let's see. 1, 2, 3,
Oh, that's enough. That's it. I
Five,
think you've put it on it.
6.
Six out of 10.
6 out of
Oh.
11 teams because there was a
11.
tie for 10th.
One of them isn't in a fucking team anymore. Oh my god.
And what's it? Dave Meltzer's got some credibility left. Okay. Yeah. Right. Yeah.
Oh well, you'll like this next one because the top 6 are all in AEW. It's best on interviews.
Oh, fuck off.
So I'm going to do things differently. I'm going to go from 10 to 1 this time. So number 10 was Randy Orton.
It won't make it any better.
Randy Orton.
Yeah.
Right, fair enough. You know what? Fair enough, right? I'm saying this is AEW sort of like bias and all that, but Randy Orton in an award
I should
in
probably
2021.
No. I said I'd do it differently. I said I was going from 10 to 1 in this one.
Yeah.
Oh, I know that.
I wanted to say this because Randy Orton came in above Don Callis, Paul Heyman, and Kevin Owens.
How?
I don't know.
Why is Don Callis on that?
Because
Don
he's the
Callis
mouthpiece
is
for
fucking amazing.
he's the mouthpiece for Kenny Omega. You're the fucking AEW fan.
I know he is, but why is he on it? That's my point. No, I know who he is. I know what he's doing. Why is he fucking on it? Don't change my fucking question, that. Fucking hell.
Number 9 was Pat McAfee.
What?
Not even a
To be
wrestler.
fair, he's a good interview.
Yeah.
Good promo.
Talking about Pat McAfee, hang on a second, let me just go all the way down.
Oh,
because
shit, I know what he won.
this was one of the things that really fucking, it made me howl with laughter. Do you want to, talking about Pat McAfee, he was named Rookie of the Year.
He was the
Get
best
too full.
heel promo in that company, but at the end of the day, I mean,
No, it's
How many
Uncle-
matches
Uncle.
did he have?
Fucking hell, Oscar Pistorius had better heels than fucking
Uncle.
Edge.
How many?
it's the thing of rookie.
yeah,
How many matches did he have?
2,
yeah.
Two.
I believe.
Two.
I believe.
Two.
2.
Two in 52 weeks.
Yes. This would be the
And that makes you
equivalent of,
Rookie of the Year.
this would be the equivalent of sort of like, giving Shaq the Rookie of the Year for this year.
Give
This
him
would be
it,
the equivalent
give him
of-
it, people. You know what to do.
This,
I know this isn't wrestling, right? But this is like naming Pierre Gasly world champion because he won one race.
Yeah, let's do it. Why not? Fuck it.
Yeah. Let's do it, yeah.
Let's do it, yeah.
Fuck it.
Everyone
Stupid.
down tools until we get what we fucking want.
I was personally offended that this guy came in so low in the list at number 8, Switchblade Jay White.
Where did it come in that list? And if it's below fucking 1, I'm horrified.
Let's see. Number 7 was Roman Reigns. Number 6.
No, I'll stop you there. Roman Reigns, okay, fair enough. In the past, I've slated the living shit out of him. But turning heel in this gimmick, he's more than 7.
It's brilliant.
Yes.
I quite
He's
like it.
brilliant.
I think it's ace.
As we go into the top 6 now. Number 6 is Taz. Number 5 is Chris Jericho. Number 4 is Cody. 3 is MJF. 2 is Jon Moxley. And number 1 is Eddie Kingston.
Eddie Kingston can talk. Don't get me
Yes.
wrong, but
Fucking hell, Stephen Hawking could talk. Fucking
yeah,
hell.
but like as in Eddie Kingston is a good promo.
Yes.
Yeah, but
Yes.
Yeah, understandable.
number 1 in the world.
Yeah. Should probably make mention of, well, actually, I'll get to it. Yeah. And it's no surprise, really, that Promotion of the Year went to... Say it with me, children.
CZW. It was
didn't make-
CZW, wasn't it?
Didn't make the list, unfortunately, mate.
Oh,
Shock, stop the
I bet
press.
NWA didn't make the list neither.
No, it didn't.
What?
Impact.
I must admit, I've not read all the nominees, etc. NWA didn't make it.
Yeah, I might as well go through Promotion of the Year. So AEW came out on top. 2 was New Japan. WWE was 3rd. Stardom 4th. UFC 5th.
Wait,
I don't know why that's, well, it's Promotion.
What?
Pro Wrestling Noah was 6th. Impact
Oh.
Wrestling 7th. Dragon Gate 8th. Ring of Honor 9th. And DDT 10th.
Impact
wait,
Wrestling.
wait.
Yeah, I got
Yeah.
7.
I don't care. It's on a list.
Wait there.
How?
WWE. Why were they on that list?
Third.
So they're third in the best promotion in the world, but how many negative fucking awards have they got on this list?
Oh, we'll get to it.
Not only that, the third. Don't forget their third, Paul. But they made record profits for the biggest company in the world of wrestling.
Because they fired half the fucking stuff.
Oh, you gotta love this next award, Best Weekly TV Show. I've sort of like
Hang on, I guess it's Dynamite.
Yes, I did. Yes, it is Dynamite. NXT was second. Third, which I'm pretty sure doesn't qualify as a TV show, was Being the Elite.
Oh, right, I'm done. I'm going to get another drink, fellas. You know, enjoy this picture. Enjoy this. I'm going to have a drink, because that is fucking shite.
Yeah.
What a load of shit. So YouTube now classes as a fucking... Oh, okay then.
Yes, it is, because AEW came in at AEW Dark came in at fourth above SmackDown.
Get fucked.
Above SmackDown, New Japan Strong, Ring of Honor, Impact, MLW Fusion, and NXT UK.
Oh, get fucked.
It's astounding. Then again, just wait till we get to Booker of the fucking year. Unbelievable.
Now, because the next thing on my list was wrestling, the match of the year, but I can get to. Let's see. Go down. Keep on going down. Where
I wouldn't be shocked if match of the year is just basically a fucking best off of AEW. I really wouldn't be shocked.
It is embarrassing, though, isn't it? If I was AEW, I'd be embarrassed as a company to have such a series of awards go in our favour like that. I'd be embarrassed.
I've just skimmed through. AEW got Best Promotion, and Tony Khan got Best Booker and Best Promoter.
Best Promoter, I can't argue with you. Because he made a profit and it's a profitable company. Right?
Yeah, I can't argue with that.
Booker? Really?
My best Booker is T.
Is he even Booker there?
Yeah, he's head Booker. He's the one who comes up with all of it. Which is why it's schizophrenic. Makes no fucking sense.
Schizophrenic.
Yeah. Fucking heels versus heels because they're just mad with each other cause. Faces versus faces just cause. Fucking bollocks. Absolute bollocks.
Fucking bollocks. It's bollocks, damn it.
It just sounds like somebody who doesn't know how to book.
He doesn't know how to book. Have you actually tried to watch it?
Yes, I did. Remember the ones? Yeah. There's a very, 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 very sort of like repetitive story that I have that I go on about on our group chat that we sort of have. It was on my honeymoon, was the last ever episode of AEW I watched, and it wasn't even a full episode. The missus had fell asleep early. I was watching TV. I go to watch the TV, and the fucking Lucha Brothers were on.
Oh, don't even
and they're
started.
bouncing round the ring like a fucking bunch of bouncy balls, and I just turned it off after fucking 10 minutes.
It's gymnastics.
It's not even gymnastics. It's wrestling where they've eaten all the blue Smarties. That's what it is. That is what it is. It's wrestling when you eat too many blue Smarties. That is what it is.
They're my favourite.
We might as well talk about Pro Wrestling Match of the Year because what do you know? It's another AEW match, and it's specifically the Young Bucks versus Kenny Omega from, I believe it was the last Revolution show, which I've attempted to watch that match and I gave up halfway through. Mainly because it is a carbon copy of the exact same match that the Young Bucks and Kenny Omega had, except take out Adam Page, put in Kota Ibushi, and build it around sort of like a much better worked match and a much better long-term booked storyline.
I'm not even shocked.
I'm not shocked either.
That they've done it before.
The amount of fucking plaudits that match got, and I remember watching it, I was just sort of like, I don't get it. The runners-up for the award for this as well. Number 2 was Kazuchika Okada versus Kota Ibushi from the Wrestle Kingdom 14 Night 1.
God.
It was night one of Wrestle Kingdom, which me and Ant have reviewed.
I'm sorry, but come on.
What?
Come on, Dave. I quite like that, Matt. Well, I say I quite liked it. Bloody hell. Anything. You put Okada and Ibushi in anything. Come on, it's fucking gold.
Yeah. So number 3 was. It's funny you were talking about Young Bucks and FTR earlier, Bunkle, because their match on the 7th of November came up at number 3.
It was bang at best.
Number 4 was Kazuchika Okada versus Tetsuya Naito, title for title, Wrestle Kingdom Night 2. Number 5 was one of my 2 picks for match of the year. Was Walter versus Ilya Dragunov.
Easily match of the year.
And that one match of NXT UK.
Easily match of the year. Fucking unbelievable.
Yep, I would probably agree with that if it weren't for the next match that's coming up. Number 6 was Kota Ibushi versus Minoru Suzuki from night 13 of G1 tournament. If you're going to watch any match from this past year's G1 tournament, definitely recommend checking that one out because it's far and away the best match of that particular G1 tournament. Flippy McBusface versus Hiromu Takahashi from Wrestle Kingdom 14 Night 1 is number 7. I believe that's I don't know whether that's a Pro Wrestling Noah or Stardom match at number 8. Number 9 is the Stadium Stampede match. And then number 10 is a random episode. It is a random 6-man tag match from Dynamite. It looks to be there's a 6-man tag match from the Brody Lee tribute show. So it's John Silver, Alex Reynolds, and Adam Page versus MJF, Santana, and Ortiz.
So a thrown together match made the top 10.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna say this now. Bunker attended this. I think probably the only live WWE show that happened in the UK last year, and that was NXT Takeover Blackpool 2, where we had that match between
Devlin and Tyler Bate.
Thank you very much, and the fucking place exploded.
Yep.
It was insane.
Even for me, who doesn't like so much the flips, it was really good.
It was fucking incredible. And we even, like I said, we had Triple H there as well. And it was, you knew for a fact they booked it to be probably standout match of the night. When you had we booked bleeding Triple H to be there, standing ovation.
Yeah.
And it was fucking incredible. And we was there for that. It was literally, I think they must have had 3 "This is awesome" chants. Holy shit, are you watching Vince McMahon? All this lot.
I love that. I love that. Are you watching Vince McMahon chant? Because it should be the case of going, no.
No, he's not.
I've just got the image of him at home in his chair, what? What am
I missing?
I heard my name.
But it was incredible, that match, and I can't believe that was even so much as even thought of. It was incredible.
Mate,
I mean, that night was a great match.
Stadium Stampede.
Yeah.
Fuck off.
Yeah, I mean, that whole anything from that night. I mean, even me, Bunkle can't stand it. But Eddie what's his name now?
Oh, the
Eddie
lanky motherfucker.
Eddie Dennis. Even he had a half decent match.
God, I hate that guy.
He's shit. But even he had a half decent match. You know what I mean? It's.
I'm just gonna roll through the MVPs for different continents because it's a award. Well, it's a section of awards for whatever reason. So the United States Canada MVP was jon-moxley. Japanese MVP was Tetsuya Naito, which I don't personally agree with. I think Kota Ibushi should have won that award because he had a much better year than Tetsuya Naito did. Mexico MVP went to Rey Fenix, and then European MVP went to Walter, which I can't argue with that either. We'll move on to women's wrestling MVP. That went to Bayley this year.
Can't argue with that.
Yeah, fair enough, Dave. Fair
I
enough.
can't argue. I know it's a WWE award, and we're going, oh yeah, AEW, but genuinely can't argue with that. Regardless, I mean, who in AEW
she was
on the female
reinvented as a
side?
heel.
Of things?
Sorry?
Yeah,
No, I just said she was good. You know, she reinvented herself as a heel and it worked.
yeah,
Yep.
can't argue that.
Uh-huh.
It worked.
Yeah, feud. Yeah, we already talked about feud of the year. Moxley and Eddie Kingston. That's literally honestly, that's literally only there for the promo work. It's nothing for in ring.
Even the promo work. I mean, it lasted like 2 weeks. What does it matter? It's not a feud.
It's a mild disagreement. It's not a feud.
Exactly.
You don't see much
ridiculous.
long-term booking anymore.
No.
It's
Definitely not in AEW.
No.
Because we've seen a few examples over the years of when it's done well and it's done right with the right people, you get the biggest fucking pops ever, and the people that benefit, well, everyone fucking benefits. Us, the fans, the wrestlers themselves, even the fucking loser of the feud benefits, and of course the company, because people are going to pay to. It was like the Kofi Kingston thing years ago. That was built up. That was quite semi-long term, and we were there, the WrestleMania podcast, and we sort of said it's obviously Kofi was going to win it, but people still paid to watch it. People were still invested in it, and everyone was really interested in it. And Kofi got the big payoff. Daniel Bryan got the payoff because that was him a few years ago. And yes, it was the same storyline with different wrestlers. Did we care? Absolutely fucking not, because it was done so well with the right wrestlers, and everyone got a pop out of it. You just need to just do that every year. Just do that every year with different. Do it with Cesaro this year, and fucking do it with R-Truth next year. Just pick a random person and do it.
It writes itself with Cesaro, something like that. It writes itself.
I'm telling you now, we are going to see long-term booking next year, because Roman Reigns is going to absolutely destroy Edge at WrestleMania, and then we're going to build up to The Rock and Roman Reigns at the next WrestleMania. I've booked it here now. And that will be awesome.
I agree.
I should probably make mention the Observer's Match of the Year. Do you want to guess where that feud came in on the Feud of the Year list?
2.
No, it didn't, actually. No, a little bit higher than that. It came in 7th. So that's...
Oh, I'm sorry. I do mean to laugh. Of course I mean to laugh. But fucking hell. No one's... Who's thinking? Who's voting? Who's voting?
Mark. Right, we'll get on to most improved of the year. And only winning by a very slight 6 votes was Britt Baker.
Oh, shit, Baker.
Yeah. Which, I mean, sort of like, if you go back of sort of like what a character was like at the start of the year to the end of the year, there has been a significant improvement, I would say, from the very few bits and pieces that I have watched. I don't know, because I don't really watch that much.
When she first came into AEW, it was like this. Oh, she's this happy. Oh, she's this awesome she's a good women's wrestler coming into a company. She's going to set the standard. Yada yada yada. Character fell on its arse. She then became this like real patronizing heel, and it was kind of cool, and it still is kind of cool to some extent. But for fuck's sake, let her fucking win a pissing match so she can actually get some credibility, because all she does is fucking lose, and she's hanging out with Rebel from TNA, who was good, who wasn't even good. She was in the Menagerie, if you remember, the Menagerie. Remember that? No, of course you fucking don't, because no one fucking knows who she is. Shit me. So she's hanging out with someone that's irrelevant. No offence, maybe a bit of offence. She's jobbing to people left, right, and centre, and people going, "Oh, why don't people appreciate her?" Because she's good. She's decent. I like the little patronising heel where she's like, "Oh, you could be," you know what I mean. We've all seen the patronising heel before. Yeah. She does it really, really well. She does it really well. But there's no point in having that if she's got this irrelevant person next to her and is losing. Makes no sense.
Yeah, you need some winning to get some sort of like motive, some like
matter.
Some matter, yeah. Motivations, not motivate. Momentum. There you go. I'll get my words muddled up.
I just had a look at the next section that was coming on to most charismatic. The winner overall was MJF. He only won by 8. He only won by 8 votes.
That's the travesty there.
He only won by 8 votes. I'll just put this into context, people. Eddie Kingston, who was apparently Promo Man of the Year, came in 5th. And number 2, who was only 8 votes behind MJF, is Bunkle's favourite wrestler in the entire world.
Oh no.
Freshly squeezed.
You're fucking joking.
For those who don't, obviously, because you can't see podcasts, Bunkle's currently got his head in his hands and he's like in utter disbelief.
He's a massive migraine.
Yeah. I don't blame him either. A guy that is Orange Cassidy and he has marginally less charisma than MGF.
And Eddie Kingston's 5th, by the way.
Orange Cassidy has less charisma than a real fucking orange.
Orange. If you come to this list, he's got more charisma than Kevin Owens.
He's got more charisma than Tetsuya Naito. He's got more charisma.
Oh, that makes me feel sick, that.
He's got more charisma than Naito.
Naito. You know how I feel about Naito. We all should know how I feel about that. That physically makes me sick. That physically
right. I'll see if I can just run through these, the rest of these awards as quickly as I can. The Bryan Danielson Award for the Best Technical Wrestler. I always find it funny when Daniel Bryan doesn't get it. This year was Zack Sabre Jr. Best High Flyer was Rey Fenix. Most Overrated was Bray Wyatt, which I don't agree with. I think that Evil should have taken that spot. Most Underrated, because Big Uncle Dave has a great big massive chubby for him, was Ricochet.
But a guy who would fit in perfectly in AEW, funny enough.
Yeah.
Let's see. Rookie of the Year we've already been through. Best Non-Wrestler went to Taz, apparently.
What?
Yeah.
Not Paul Heyman.
Best Non-Wrestler. Heyman came in at 2nd.
Not Paul Heyman, who's essentially given Roman Reigns a career again.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah. Not MVP either for dragging 3 careers out of the gutter.
Bobby Lash, yeah, I was going to say.
Not MVP. Not MVP for grabbing 3 guys who were, what can we say,
not doing
the water. Not doing anything, and made them all have gold just through his charisma alone. Speaking of which, was MVP on that charisma list anywhere?
I don't know, because they only did a top 7 and he didn't break the top 7.
The fact that he's not in the top 7 is a fucking travesty.
That list is officially bullshit. It's a joke.
Oh, shit.
It's a joke. MVP, possibly at this moment in time, is the most charismatic man in WWE. And arguably, he doesn't make the list.
At this rate, he could talk anyone into bed. He's that good, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, I mean...
including us 4.
I seen this man blow his knee literally 6 foot in front of me. And then the next night pull a promo out of his arse.
Yep.
On crutches.
Mm-hmm.
And he's not on the list.
Next on the list was best and worst television announcer. The worst award went to Michael Cole. Not really surprising, because Michael Cole has been
It's boss time!
It's boss time. It's
the
boss
big
time.
dog.
Best television announcer, I had an issue with, because it went to Excalibur.
Excrement.
Yeah, excrement. I find it especially offensive given that Kevin Kelly is the best play-by-play commentator in the world at the moment. I don't care what anybody says. Best major wrestling show was AEW Revolution because it had the freaking match of the year on it. Worst major wrestling show was the Super Showdown. I believe that was with the Brock Lesnar squashing Ricochet in literally 60 seconds.
Yeah, that's the one.
Yeah, but
what's Ricochet done recently? That's what I want to know. What did
Nothing.
The thing is, though, has that award got anything to do with the fact it actually happened in Saudi Arabia?
Probably.
Yeah, more than likely.
I mean, did he sleep with Linda or something? What the fuck has Ricochet done?
Oh, hang on, no, was Super Showdown the one in Australia?
No, this will be in Saudi.
It would be one of the Saudi ones.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Because literally the top four for worst major wrestling show are all WWE.
I'm not shocked.
In fact, all of the top 8 are WWE, bar an AEW one at 5th, which is surprising. Best wrestling maneuver went to Kenneth of Olivier's One-Winged Angel. Worst television show went to Raw, no real surprise. Worst match of the year went to Braun Strowman versus The Fiend.
So that swamp fight match thing.
It might have been, I don't know, I only see sort of like the name for it.
Because that match was, for, like, you to enjoy technical prowess, it seems to be, what Big Dave sort of like goes for. Let's judge it against all these other high technical sort of like matches, and not taking it and watch it what it actually fucking was, and actually a bit of fun.
That also got worst feud of the year, by the way. WWE, no surprise, got worst promotion of the year. I'm not going on to best gimmick because Bunkle will have an aneurysm. The Fiend got worst gimmick of the year.
Worst gimmick of the year, but made a butt ton of money. Okay then.
Yeah.
Okay then.
Best pro wrestling book of the year went to the Young Bucks one.
What?
The Jim Ross autobiography, which is highly recommended from many critics, came in at 3rd. And then the best pro wrestling documentary was the Owen Hart episode on Dark Side of the Ring.
Yeah, that was good.
Okay, can't argue that.
Yeah.
And those are the Observer Awards.
Well,
now let's put the world to rights. Let's try and put the world to right, lady. You lot. Come on.
Mm-hmm.
Go on then.
Let's do this.
Yeah,
this is the
yeah, come on. Let's be brave.
The Lost Art of Wrestling Awards.
Yes.
Real awards that they don't even know exist.
Giving it the fanfare it deserves. Remember, if you've not won nothing.
Should we call these the Arties?
Oh,
yeah.
Yes, I like that.
The
Arties.
Artie Awards.
Yeah.
All the awards are made out of tinfoil, so we're not sorry about that. We'll send them to you in post.
Tinfoil? I thought there was those little tiny little plastic cups that you can get for them little bags that you can get.
No, can we get them? Let's do this every year and let's make it a little. Let's make it a thing. An attempt to mail it to the winners.
Yes.
That'd be brilliant.
Send it to the P.O. box and never be heard of again.
I can't wait for them to not open it and put it straight in the fucking bin. Every year, these cunts again. Bang.
What's this? Congratulations, you've won an Arties. Oh, get to fuck.
What's an Artie? Who the fuck is not Daz? You can see it happening, can't you?
What's this? Delivered by the delivery man? Get to fuck.
What's a Hermes? You see it fucking happening. fucking Hermes van rock up. Oh, another Artie. Oh, let me clear space on me fucking. Let me take me fucking WWE titles down. Fucking put an Artie up there.
Okay, fucking smelt those belts. I've got an Artie.
Oh, can we make him out of like use Smarties little roller thing? Let's proper take the pissing. Let's proper
No. It's just a sheet of paper with a gold star stuck on it.
Oh, like let's make it like one of those stickers you get at dentists.
Yes,
Let's get one of
exactly.
those. Where they say your next show, we fucking
Dare you?
dare you.
You just watch the next episode of AEW. Orange Cassidy's got it stuck to his fucking shirt.
With two, it's just going to be a gold star with the James Bunkle Wrestler of the Year award.
It'll be Bunkle there. It'll be Bunkle there with disapproving face, just like.
Hey, you could be like the Angry Miss Girl Bunkle. You could be like the Angry Miss.
Yes.
Just start face on the sticker. Can we have your angry face on the sticker, please? And let's just dot 'em around everywhere. That would be fucking brilliant. We'll make thousands.
I was going to say pence, but you're fucking optimistic.
Thousands of shillings. Thousands of shillings.
Oh dear.
Oh dear. But yeah, who wants to go first with their reward? What are we doing first?
Not me, please.
Well, if we kick off from the top and just go with like Wrestler of the Year,
Yep.
then people can just give their opinion. I didn't go for sort of like a Wrestler of the Year award. I just basically split it up of sort of like deciding on a face and a heel of the year.
Fair play.
And because about like 98% of my watching wrestling from the past year has predominantly been New Japan, I went with face of the year being Kota Ibushi and heel being Switchblade Jay White. I'll start with Ibushi first. Just had a great year, a really great year. Like just sort of like a long-term story being told of, you know, coming up short against Kazuchika Okada in the main event for the IWGP title. He went off away from the main event scene for like a little bit, had like a tag title reign with Hiroshi Tanahashi. Obviously, the Global Bastard put like a bit of a curb stomp on like everything New Japan related for a couple of months. Just came back, had like a great G1 tournament, really great fucking G1 tournament. Won it again, lost the opportunity to my heel of the year, and it just built up to a really nice story being told at the New Japan at the Wrestle Kingdom show that was on this past January. He's the current world champion in IWG in New Japan, and you know, sort of like going off the Observer Awards again. I realise we shouldn't really be making mention of it, but Naito being Japanese MVP of the year, I don't agree with really. It was a year for Ibushi, and then sort of like heel of the year with Jay White. I seem to remember us making sort of like a list of, you know, no money concerns. You'd sort of like pick your dream roster. And I know I picked sort of like MJF there to have as my sort of like sniveling, whining little bitch of a heel. But this was around about the time of sort of like, you know, New Japan not being on air. And when Jay White came back, he made me realise how great a fucking heel he is. He is phenomenal. Phenomenal.
I think I remember on our New Japan podcast that we did, reviewing the old show, we always said that this boy had the potential to be something really, really, really good. And thankfully, this year it started to come out. And he was... I've not done what you've done, but he was one of my three when I really put it down to, when I was really thinking, he was one of my three. Mainly, we always talked about this guy. He could be special. Let's hope it comes out of him. And this year it has. And well, we've seen the results. He's been brilliant.
Yep. Those are my lists. Those are my two picks, I should say. Floor is open to anybody else who wants to take the mantle.
I suppose I'll go on, Paul. You jump in.
Yeah, I mean, I'm honest with you, I've been probably, pretty much off the face of the earth when it comes to wrestling this past year. And yeah, I've only seen a couple of shows this year, so I can only go with what I've seen in those few shows. And for my wrestler of the year, I'm going to go with someone who I've vehemently hated for many, many, many years, and absolutely said he's been absolutely fucking talentless. But this past year, because obviously I've not been watching shows, I've been following it as it goes along, though, obviously through social media and bits and bobs, and keeping up to date with it. And I've seen promos, and I've seen odd bits of matches, and I've seen, obviously, mic work from here and there. But my wrestler of the year, it's going to have to be Roman Reigns, just through the fact of how he's improved his character, how it's coming across, and how it's just coming across as $1,000,000. It's his heel work. It's like a couple of years ago, you could never imagine as Roman Reigns working as a heel.
No.
You just couldn't do it. But yeah, I've been pleasantly impressed with what I've seen with Roman Reigns. And for me, he's been not only he's been refreshing to see, and it's a new side of a wrestler that I've been wanting to see for a long time. It's refreshing. So yeah, I can't see. Yeah, I can't pick anyone else. It has to be, for me, it's Roman Reigns.
Understandable. I mean, he's been the standout performer in WWE throughout this entire year.
Yeah.
It's the bits and pieces that I have seen, and the fact that he only sort of came in with 4 months to go until sort of the end of the year, the impact that he's had is sort of it's testament. Well, it's testament to his character, but it's also sort of a detriment to the rest of the fucking roster and what they've been doing, or the lack of what they've been doing.
Pretty much.
Bunkle, I think you should take the stage next.
So this is hard for me, because if the year had, if the year had been continuous, so to speak, it would easily have been Nick Aldis for me as wrestler of the year. But due to the global bastard, he's obviously taken half of the year off, and only returning recently. So I kind of followed from your lead, really, and I kind of wanted to go with a face and with a heel. Now, heel, I've picked Roman Reigns because, like Paul said, he's completely renewed. It's something I never expected, and he's. Jesus.
Please put the video up on this, please, because it's honestly fucking hell.
So I went heel Roman Reigns for all the reasons Paul said. I used to hate Roman Reigns. Now I like Roman Reigns. Now I think, he's always been Vince's boy, and now he doesn't look like Vince's boy. And then I was trying to think of a face. I was kind of like, well, I don't really like anyone, I'll be openly honest with you. And then I was like, hang on a minute, Ric Flair. Because at the end of the day, if we were that old and we could get that pussy, we'd all do it.
I think I've seen a hole in your logic though, mate. I don't think Ric Flair was intended to be a face.
He probably wasn't, but at the end of the day, in my eyes, that to be the man, you've got to beat the man, and he's slept with over 10,000 women in his life, and he's still going. So good on you, man.
10,001 now.
Well, I don't know about I don't know about beating the man, but I know someone who was beating the man, if you know what I mean.
When I think it's inappropriate and you've gone too far, there's a fucking problem.
What, the joke or the pic?
The picture's fine. In fact, the North Korean one, put that North Korea flag fucking back up. Because...
No, I was going on the Bunkle's Ric Flair pic, not the actual picture.
All right, fuck it. Well, it just I've got a lot of images in my head, and none of them are right.
Woo!
and all of them had that sound.
Here I come, lazy, like literally and figuratively.
There you go.
Uncle, how many pictures do you have of North Korean stuff? Because I just saw like King Kong-un's body pop up.
You did.
What the fuck is going on?
I'm going to be honest. I think North Korea is like one of the most fascinating things in the world.
Right, let's just fucking go on with these awards. We're not getting into that shit now. Fuck me. Right, I picked Orange Cassidy. No, I didn't. I went along the same lines of Lewis. I was honestly struggling to pick like a male wrestler. I was like, I can't think of anyone that's had like a standout year. And then on my YouTube popped up Wrestle Kingdom highlights and stuff like that, and I thought, right. And I had two names in my head: Kota Ibushi, Tetsuya Naito. Lewis knows how I feel about fucking Naito, so and because you picked Ibushi, I went with Naito based on the match he had with Okada at the start of 2020, which I think was incredible. Oh, he had Okada in. It's going to be incredible. And then the storyline with Evil, in terms of, I don't know what you thought about that, Lewis, but we sort of, it was a bit, yeah. And Naito sort of made something out of it. He sort of made you want to watch it still. He sort of made you still want to. You knew what was going to happen, and you were excited to see it. Put it that way. You knew eventually Naito was going to get on top, and he was going to, get everything back, etc., etc. But Naito's so charismatic. He's so good. And again, rest of the year for me. I could have easily gone a Ibushi as well for the exact same, because the bloke's a fucking an amazing superstar. Amazing.
Tremendous athlete as well. I don't know whether it's just sort of like, the past year or whatever. I mean, he's always been in tremendous physical shape, but this year he just looked that much better.
When we were reviewing these shows, it's been numerous years, numerous shows, numerous matches, and none of the recognition, unfortunately.
Yeah.
But how many times do we say that about these damn awards tonight? Well, it speaks for itself, doesn't it? Yep. But yeah, Tetsuya Naito for me. Just because he pulled something out of nothing.
Yeah. Okay, next up on our list was Female of the Year. For me, it was between two. I was tempted to go with Asuka, just because she's been predominantly the best heel of attempting to make chicken salad out of chicken shit. But she, as the year sort of trailed off, she just was featured less and less and less, despite being the women's champion. So I've gone with Bayley. Because
I would completely agree.
Because I think she started the year out as, it's attempting this heel gimmick, and it didn't really work. Well, it wasn't working. But then it sort of it flipped a switch when she joined up with Sasha, and then there was a whole tag team reign with Sasha, and that developed into quite a natural feud. Yeah, she disappeared off sort of the back end of the year, but that sort of that little bit of work in the middle was probably the most consistent bit of storytelling that they did in WWE. So I would say that Bayley is my female of the year.
Yeah, I got nothing to add to that. I completely agree.
May I go next?
Yeah, go ahead.
I think it was pretty obvious for me, and I think no woman, especially in the year of the global bastard, as it's going to be called, sort of just before that as well, I don't think anyone can hold a candle to Thunder Rosa at the minute. I
think Bunkle's in agreement with you.
I think she's honestly a big star in the making. She's recently been in the AEW women's tournament who's going to face Hikaru Shida, and they jobbed her out to Nyla Rose, which is fucking disgusting and disgraceful, because I believe Thunder Rosa to be the best women's wrestler on the planet at the moment. End of. Full story. There you go. Bunkle.
I'd say I completely agree with Not Daz. Thunder Rosa has been fantastic since the first moment I saw her in the NWA. She's technically great. She's got a unique character, and honestly, I love everything about her.
I think she's a very big star in the making.
Yeah,
and
definitely.
As much as I'd love to see her on AEW, I do not want to see her jobbed out to people who've already been in the spotlight for a year already. I think it was so wrong. I think she should have got to the finals. Obviously, Nyla Rose lost the finals. Anyway, but I still Thunder Rosa should be challenging for the AEW title. That way, in my opinion, I'd love to see her in that company. I'd love to, but I don't want to see her be treated like that at all. She deserves so much better. So if you don't know a star when you see it, sorry, balls to you.
Well, I think with the NWA coming back, they'll definitely utilize Thunder Rosa. They'll definitely utilize Camille. I think they'll definitely go back to that storyline. I think there's money in utilizing Serena Deeb, given that she is the NWA Women's Champion.
I think she's injured now. I've seen. I think she's been injured. She's just been injured.
Okay. Right. Okay. Well,
I've seen her in a wheelchair recently on Instagram.
Jesus.
So.
Right. Okay. Well, there's a potential there of sort of like, getting the women's title back on Thunder Rosa, and then with the NWA coming back,
money.
They can.
Money.
With the NWA coming back, I think they can build to what they were originally going to do before the Global Bastard hit, which is building up to Thunder Rosa and Camille.
Yeah,
I think, and actually give it some proper build.
That's it. Take your time with this. Take your time with it, because Camille's green. Take your time with it. That's going to be money.
Mm-hmm. If they book it right.
Yeah.
Next award on the Arties is Tag Team of the Year. I've got to be honest, I struggled to come up with a Tag Team of the Year, so much so that I just put like an NA next to it. The only team that I could really think of that I've enjoyed through the past year was James Storm and Eli Drake, but even then they were a makeshift tag team. So yeah, I don't know whether I could give them my award personally, because I've not really thought much about tag team wrestling this year.
I'm just going to be a little bit mark here. I'm just going to say Grizzled Young Vets, just to see how far they've come along.
Yeah.
Mainly because, one of them comes from Blackpool, yay. But genuinely, though, they've gone from being on the indie circuit in the UK a couple of years ago to having a shot at the main belts on NXT in a couple of years. It's a big rise.
Very true.
They've worked their asses off for it. And Zach Gibbs, to talk about people with charisma and can cut a fucking promo.
Yep.
He's so good. He's so underrated and so good at what he does.
Exactly. He just aggravates crowds just by turning up.
Yeah.
Just by speaking with that fucking accent.
Exactly. It's yes. I mean, we saw him have a hell of a match in person again at NXT Takeover Blackpool 2 in that ladder match, which was insane. And it's just how far they've come from
Grizzled Young Vets are a very good shout.
Yeah, so I'm gonna give it to them just just for where they started to where they are now.
Mm-hmm.
That's how I'm going to give them the reward for that on my end.
Fair enough. Floor is yours, gentlemen.
Oh, God, then I'll jump in. Again, I kind of struggle with tag teams because tag team wrestling is such an afterthought these days. And, you know, the way FTR have been booked like jobbers and just like, well, fucking dicks, really. Just terrible.
Mm-hmm.
I was really struggling. And then I thought, you know what? Nice little story. Unfortunately, you know, sidelined by the global bastard. The Rock and Roll Express.
Do you know what? Why not?
Exactly.
You know, it was a bit of fun. Gentlemen of that, you know, of their vintage, shall we say, should not be doing what they should be doing, but they are doing it, and they're doing it well.
Every credit to them.
Exactly. They're entertaining.
Exactly.
Yeah, I can't fault that one bit. Cannot fault it.
I think if they originally did what I think many were speculating they were going to do for the Crockett Cup in winning it and then retiring straight after, I would definitely be with that.
Agreed.
Oh, yeah.
I would definitely.
Hopefully they do that at some point. Yeah, because that's the right way for them to
leave.
To bow out, so we're saying it'd be perfect as well.
Going out on top, it's fitting. Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And tag team of the year.
Again, tag team wrestling is unfortunately going through. It has its stages where it'll be like 3 months of being absolutely amazing and then another year and a half of being absolute total shite. I originally wanted to throw this award away and go FTR and just say that and be like, yeah, whatever, because FTR are a good tag team. I wanted to do that. I really did. But when I really sat down and think about it, I went with the North.
Okay.
Yeah, I like
mainly because, and I'll tell you why. Who the fuck has paid attention to the Impact World Tag Team Champions until the North had it?
No one.
They all of a sudden Impact Wrestling have a fucking tag team division because of them. They've been good on mic, good in ring, and I can't remember a tag team before them having them titles, which sounds really it sounds stupid. But what was the tag team that they took it off? Exactly.
Couldn't tell you.
Exactly.
Couldn't tell you.
Exactly. And they sort of put Impact on the map again for me, because that's the reason I went back to watch Impact, was because of the North.
They very much seem to be sort of like a modern day version of what the Steiner brothers used to be like.
Yeah, I think you're spot on with that.
Sort of like amateur wrestling, literally just throw fuckers about, because the few compilation tapes that I've seen dotted around the internet, they do seem to, you know, inherit that kind of. Sorry, I'm distracted. I'm having a break.
Can we please upload this video, because people need to see what we're fucking distracted by? Because they're not gonna you know what, if they told us what we were fucking seeing, you wouldn't fucking believe a damn word we're saying. You wouldn't believe a damn word. Fucking hell.
Anyway,
can we get back on the fucking? Honestly, I think the North has made something out of nothing.
Yeah.
And they made it They made it a little bit cool, if I'm going to say so myself. They made it a little bit cool to be Impact's tag champions. A little bit. Not a lot.
Yeah.
A little bit. Still quite sucky. But still a little bit.
If you can make something out of nothing, particularly in a year that's been ravaged by the global bastard, then that's saying something.
Yeah, nothing hits reset like a fucking pandemic.
Indeed. Right, next award is the Breakout Star of the Year. I myself, I wasn't really struggling because I had a couple of names in mind. And then just the other day, I had a name pop into my head and just be like, yeah, he's sort of like taking the next step up. I've gone with Jeff Cobb.
Ooh.
I've gone with Jeff Cobb.
No, yeah.
Just because as I've said many, many a times, 98% of all my wrestling watching is New Japan Pro Wrestling. And Jeff Cobb has always been sort of like the guy, good hand to have in your middle card, but nobody that they're looking at sort of like pushing. And then the G1 tournament came along, and Jeff Cobb had a really fucking great tournament. Really great tournament. I mean, like, when you're in a bracket with the likes of Kazuchika Okada, Kota Ibushi, Shingo Takagi, Minoru Suzuki, you're not really going to put too much of a foot wrong, but he fucking rose to those fucking occasions. Like, if I'm talking about sort of like, you know, people talking about, wrestling shows of the year, I honestly feel, I think it's like Night 13 or whatever it's called, but it's specifically October the 10th, the G1 show that took place on that day. He has a fucking barn burner of a match against Tomohiro Ishii. And it was sort of like, it emphasized to me as like, okay, this is the Jeff Cobb that I want to see.
Yeah.
And he just fucking progressed from there. And yeah, Breakout Star is exactly what I feel Jeff Cobb has done this year. He's gotten out of the shadow of just being a bit guy in the mid card and shown that, you know, if you do give him a little bit to work with, he can work wonders.
He's one of them who, in a year's time, we could possibly be talking about male wrestler, or a year or two's time. He is that good. He is that good. If you give him the chance, but it's like you said, Lewis, you've got to give him the chance, and you've.
Do you know what I mean? I'm sort of like I'm fancy booking here. But I would love NWA to sort of like make a working relationship with New Japan Pro Wrestling, and I would be getting on the fucking phone. I would be getting on the phone with New Japan. It's just sort of like, can we make Jeff Cobb sort of like the most active roster member out of your roster? Well, I honestly think he could thrive. He could absolutely thrive in NWA.
Just segueing from the award for a bit, we always talk. It's an ongoing conversation we have. Who, in their right mind, can take that title off Aldis at the minute? Who would you exactly? And that's the big, because no one in NWA at the minute is taking that title. I'm sorry, I don't care who you build up. No one can take it from him.
It's certainly not going to be fucking Ken Anderson, is it?
Well, keep going, Kenny boy. Obviously, fucking not. I think what you said, Lewis. If you get that working arrangement with New Japan, fucking hell, you know.
You turn Nick Aldis heel because you know he can cut a fucking great babyface promo. You bring Jeff Cobb in. You maybe give him sort of like a mouthpiece, a really good fucking mouthpiece. Build him as this fucking monster who chucks everybody about. You could have him, you know, destroy, in inverted commas, destroy Nick Aldis in sort of like convincing fashion. Have him win the NWA title. And then you have Nick Aldis go on like a year of sort of like a year storyline and eventually have him win the belt back.
And just like that, you have shitloads of money in your pocket.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's funny how that works, isn't it?
It's going to cost, you've got to spend money to make money, and it will cost a fair bob to get that, obviously. But honestly, if NWA and New Japan did a joint pay-per-view tomorrow, if it's £100, I'll honestly, and I swear to God, I will pay for that. I really would. I'll pay, honestly, £100. I would pay to watch that. I honestly,
right, I'll bring the booze then.
I'm paying to watch the fucking show.
Yeah, that's my breakout star of the year.
Well, my breakout star, well, I'm sorry. I actually came up with a few. One of the ones I thought was Raquel Gonzalez, who's with Dakota Kai. Okay. That's one of the ones I thought of. It was going to be Murphy, but he tailed off a bit, and I was just like, yeah.
And it was involved in a shit storyline.
Yeah, and then there was Darby Allin, but I thought, am I going to pay to watch someone get ridiculous, someone who wants to get hurt a lot? And then I really think about who's actually breaking out, and I came up with Jey Uso.
All right,
okay. That's a good one.
That's a good shout, actually.
Because who the fuck? I'm honestly, could you tell the difference between Jimmy or Jey Uso before this little? Absolutely not.
Well,
We don't.
I still can.
They switch every week. No, but he's really come out of his shell, and he's come out of the shadow of his twin brother. He's not just they're not just a tag team anymore. Jey Uso is a bloody good wrestler by his own right, and every credit to him. He's carved out this little thing he's got with himself now, albeit with Roman Reigns and Paul Heyman stood next to him. Obviously, that helps, but like we saw, the likes with Cesaro, doesn't always work if you've got Paul Heyman stood next to you. You've got to do a bit yourself, and I believe he has promos. That fucker is intense. He's intense. And in terms of wrestling in the ring, just as good as the next person, in my opinion. So my
Roman gave him a shitload in the ring, though. Made him look $1 million.
Yeah. Don't get me wrong. He does get help, but he does work. You can tell that he's worked at it himself.
Yeah.
And the improvement from the Jey Uso, who was just doing the fucking hacker, the ramp to what we've got now. It's going to be hard to put the Usos. Well, it's not going to be hard to put the Usos back together if they have the same attitude and the same sort of wrestling style. But Jey Uso's done it by himself, and he could have sat at home while his brother's been injured. He could have and still picked up the face. He hasn't. He's come out. He's got this thing, his cool gig with Roman and Paul, and every credit to him.
Yep. I can't argue that. For me, I'm going all the way back, starting off like when I first saw this wrestler, and they started off in NXT UK, and they moved their way up, midway through 2019, I would say, came up to like the NXT, and I can only say they've they've fucking practically dominated it ever since they came up, to the point now where they could come up to the main roster and actually be a credible threat and even be WrestleMania main event worthy. That's Rhea Ripley.
Oh, yeah, that's a good one, that. Mm-hmm. Amen.
Rhea Ripley, at the beginning of the year, literally, maybe got a bit of a foot in NXT. But end of the year, think about it, say the end of the year Royal Rumble, and she was one of the last two in the Royal Rumble. Bear in mind she should have won it. The Royal Rumble encompasses every single show that WWE has, so NXT, SmackDown, Raw, and she was in the ring at the end representing. Well, I think she may have just come up to the main roster, possibly.
She got called up after the Rumble. That was like a debut type of thing.
Yeah, so for me, it's like you could put her in the ring, and you have put her in the ring with someone like Charlotte, and she's been her equal.
She's held her own really, really well.
She has held
I think in what is the best generation of women's wrestling we've seen in a long, long, long time.
Agreed.
And she's people often talk about Sasha, Bayley, Charlotte, Becky, that four horsewomen thing. She is just as good as them, if not
absolutely.
I think she deserves to be held in that bracket.
I think you're doing a disservice. She would wrestle rings around fucking someone like Becky Lynch. I am sorry, but she would absolutely rip her a new one.
She's only young.
I'm sorry, but she's sorry.
She's only young as well. She's not even entered her prime yet.
Dude, she's younger than you.
Yeah, I know that's saying something.
How old is she?
Exactly. She's like 25.
Fuck off.
Something ridiculous like that. She's 25, and she's at the stage she's now, and that is scary.
Already
how good
just
she get?
Top at 25.
I'll just say, guys, she's actually 24. She's not 25 until October.
There you go. That
Happy
just shows
October.
That's scary. Someone at 24 years of age, and they're at the position they're at now. We could have Rhea Ripley on our TV. Fuck me, I could have Rhea Ripley on my TV in her prime when I'm hitting 50.
Yeah.
Christ,
you know,
stunned silence there.
Yeah. So it's like
that stunned silence was, wow, we're fucking old.
No, I'm old. But yeah, she's that good. I mean, a year ago now, she was basically just getting started in NXT. And you talk about, if you're talking a yearly award for where she's at, she's the equal of Charlotte, I would say, in ability. In look, I'd say she even surpasses someone like Charlotte. She has got the look, she's got the build, she's got the ability. She's the complete package that you would want to say, how would you imagine a female wrestler would look if he's just, someone who's got the build, actually, doesn't look like a foot. She's the complete package.
Yeah.
And for me,
spot on.
It's all come out this past year in the main sort of like in the mainstream. It's come about in this past year. So, and no one else for me has come along as much in this calendar year as she has, singularly. Mm-hmm. It can't be anyone else. For me, it's Rhea Ripley.
She's proving everyone right.
Yeah.
That's
she is.
The thing.
Yeah, everyone said she had money written all over her. Everyone says she's the future, and she's fucking taking the ball and running with it.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. No, she's amazing. No, good.
Yeah.
Good.
So yeah, for me it's Rhea Ripley. Hands down, Rhea Ripley.
Yeah, well, I'm going to be honest, because I voted her for Female Wrestler of the Year, I kind of had to go with Thunder Rosa again. Because I'd never heard of her. I don't think anybody else had. And to me, she's just... How can I put it? Allysin Kay was the NWA champion. It was all right. Then Thunder Rosa was the NWA Women's Champion, and it meant something. Mm-hmm. And then when she went to AEW, and I thought, okay, they'll, she'll get, lost in the shuffle, so to speak, because we all know the things that are wrong with the AEW Women's division, but she still stood out, and. I say that's my girl.
Fair enough.
So anyway, Mrs. Bunkle, if you are listening,
trust me, she doesn't listen.
Fucking lucky you.
Yeah, I was about to say. Right, so next award on the list is Voice of the Year. Now it's for me, I realise it's been sort of like a limited. I realise it's been a limited year for this particular person. And I realise there's been some like great promo guys from Roman Reigns to Switchblade Jay White. Jay White's an incredible fucking promo. But honestly, I don't think there's anybody that can fucking top Nick Aldis. Honestly, there's no matter what I think of him, sort of like in the ring, just sort of like, I think he's a decent worker. I don't think he's the best wrestler in the world. He's fucking, he's a good hand, to have as sort of like a professional, in terms of his in-ring work. On the microphone, there is nobody fucking better. There isn't. I mean, like the only one that could probably come close is sort of like, someone like an Eli Drake. Or maybe an Eddie Kingston, but
LA Knight now.
But well, yeah, But hey ho. But honestly, there's nobody that can touch him. I mean, like, I realise you can't go back and watch it now, and I realise it's in a feud with a less than savoury person. But the fucking promo that he cut on that particular guy in question. The episode of Power where they literally dedicated like the last 10 minutes to them having sort of like a behind the scenes chat, and he's just there for fucking 10 minutes, just literally ripping him into fucking new one. Like honestly, there was nobody in modern day wrestling at the moment that can cut a promo, that can talk like fucking Nick Aldis does. And that's where I get on the Nick Aldis bandwagon train. Because there's nobody better on the mic. Nobody.
How many times do we say it? Looks like a champion, walks like a champion, talks like a champion.
Yeah.
Yep.
Absolutely.
And end scene for me, that.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I think we're all in agreement then.
Yeah.
However,
That's an easy award to give out.
Yeah.
I took this as who I believe is just the best at just chatting. And for me, I think MJF has made me believe in heels again. Like a proper stupid, whingy arsehole. And he's such a believable character as well. And it's made me hate. How often do we see like wrestlers come out as heels, and you'll get like the marquee group chanting, "Oh yeah, we love the heels!" Way.
Yeah.
Like when Kevin Owens came out as a heel originally, and everyone was like, "Yeah," like, no, you're not meant to like him.
You're meant to boo him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love MJF because I fucking hate him. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I think it's too easy sometimes to pander to the crowd and to make them like you. I think it's a much harder skill to make them loathe and detest you, like MJF does. I believe The Miz has the similar quality as well. Although The Miz had that little period, a couple of years ago now, where the fans were like, "Yeah, we agree with The Miz," and then all of a sudden he turned face, and it's like, oh no. MJF makes me hate him, and that's why I love him. I could obviously say the same to Switchblade Jay White as well. Very, very. I could have easily picked him thinking about it, but yeah, I believe it's the art of that heel. I believe he's really good at.
It's a art that is very much missing from pretty much all of wrestling, bar like the odd wrestler here and there. It's scary how much that you sort of like you miss that kind of heat, and you warrant for that kind of heat, because there are very few people that can deliver it.
What you said about Nick Aldis, I think the absolute genius of Nick Aldis, he can do that kind of heel, that low and detested heel, but he can also be that face as well.
Yeah.
But it's not two different characters. I don't know how he does it. It's not two different characters. It's the same bloke. It's the same character, but it's, you know what I'm getting at.
Yeah.
You know what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
It's that's the genius of Nick Aldis. And again, it's a shame he doesn't get the credit he deserves. Such a shame.
Yeah. Well, he's getting plenty of fucking plaudits here.
Absolutely.
Right, so, well, the next category I thought I'd roll into sort of like one, because it's for worst male and worst female of the year. My two picks are very sort of like contrasting, because one is for mostly in-ring work, but also being a dick on the outside. The other one is sort of like, you know, being a dick, period. So for worst male, I've gone with Chris Jericho. Sorry, Ant. And worst female, I've gone with Nia Jax.
They are my choices, 100%. I've actually written those down. Just told me to prove it. So one moment.
All right, it's not countdown. You don't have to like prove you've done it.
I can't even see it, can you? There you go.
You just wrote that down.
Blinded by the light.
But yeah, I have actually said exactly the same. Chris Jericho and Nia Jax.
Yeah.
But I'm interested to see why you've said that, because probably will be very similar.
Chris Jericho is just an all-round cock, in my opinion. Just, you know, being a COVID-19... I don't know what they call it.
Mule.
COVID-19 denier. And just basically his wife was one of the protesters in the sacking of Capitol Hill very early in the year.
Did not know. I
didn't know that either.
No.
Yeah. Yeah,
Wow.
it only came out in sort of like the last couple of weeks. I realised that, you know, it's Chris Jericho's wife, in fact, but, you know, he decides to associate with her. And just literally simply for the fact of he just looks sad. It's sad to sort of like, you know, see clips or see still images of him on fucking AEW, because he just looks like a man that's... He's the equivalent of sort of like, you know, Steve Buscemi in that sort of like that gif of just sort of like, you know, him just sort of like dressing up as a teenager and just sort of like, hello, fellow teenagers. You know, just sort of like it's sad to look at. And
Look at me, I'm hip.
Yeah. Basically, he's trying to be sort of like, yeah, look at me, I'm hip. Where
He reminds. It's not even that. It reminds me of when there's an episode of The Simpsons where Mr. Burns sort of like get down with the kids.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's
Yeah.
like, oh, yeah, it's exactly that. It is exactly that, and it's embarrassing. It's embarrassing to watch. It's like, Chris,
and the fact
kind
he will continue to go on his fucking podcast and get like-minded individuals like himself of saying, oh, COVID-19 isn't that big of a deal. There's only X amount of cases. It's down, you know, a significant number from sort of like last month. And I think it was him, Alundra Blaze, and somebody else that was sort of like commented just sort of like, open everything up. Let's get back to normal. All the COVID-19 cases are, you know, they're pretty much at fucking nil when they're not.
We all know what I think of Alundra Blaze.
Yeah.
No, look, she's fantastic. Please grow old gracefully. You're only supposed to have an exoskeleton unless you're a beetle. Fucking hell. Jeez. I did not know that about Chris Jericho, by the way. That's enlightening, shall we say.
Yeah. So yeah, that's just basically Chris Jericho. Nia Jax, I don't think there's anything that we need to really elaborate on that hasn't been said already. She's a shit worker, hasn't improved from the very first day she stepped in between the ropes, and will continue to, you know, go on podcasts, go on social media, and sort of like, you know, oh, woe is me, why are you picking on me? You know, if you don't deserve to sort of like criticize me because you're not in this, blah, 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 blah. She fucking sucks. If it weren't for the fact that she came from a fucking pro wrestling, from, you know, the distinguished wrestling dynasty that she comes from, she would have been out of her fucking arse. Well, she probably wouldn't even have got through developmental. She'll probably have been sort of like, you know, in developmental for 18 months, maybe 2 years, and then very quietly released. Yep. It's literally because of her wrestling lineage that she is where she is at.
Correct.
She is one of the most dangerous wrestlers, male or female, I have ever seen.
Yeah, she got fucking Kairi Sane, who's one of the most naturally gifted females that has come in WWE over the past, like, decade. She got her to fucking leave because Kairi Sane wasn't willing to put up with the bullshit of constantly being in the ring with her and constantly getting fucking injured.
At what point if I'm a wrestler now and I'm looking at it like Kairi Sane did, at what point do you refuse to work with her? At what point do people turn around and go, no, I don't want to work with her? At what point? Does there have to be a serious catastrophic injury to a female wrestler for someone to click the fingers and say, no, she's not good enough, she's going to really hurt someone? She already has really hurt people. What's it going to take? Does she have to kill someone? Does she have to kill someone?
Well, it's going to take her having a match against someone like Shayna Baszler and someone to actually punch her in the face in the middle of a match. Well, that is what it's going to take.
I couldn't even say that, Paul, to be honest with you, because they did it. She carelessly punched fucking Becky Lynch in the face, took her off TV for fucking 6 weeks, and she was given a fucking push. She was given a fucking push.
No, I'm on about Shayna Baszler. Say to someone like Shayna Baszler giving her a smack in the face.
So, well, no, I'm literally of the case of sort of like Anthony. It's going to take her of sort of like, ending somebody's career before somebody takes note.
Yeah.
Probably.
It's gonna get to that stage, honestly, and you can see it fucking coming a mile off. You can see it coming a mile off.
Who's going to beat Lamped at Slaughter then? Who's going to take that chance? Who's going to be the example?
It'll probably be somebody that I really like fucking Asuka.
It could be like
fucking fuming.
It could be Raquel Gonzalez or Dakota Kai. It could be them. This could happen tomorrow at recording. It could happen any time. This isn't it could happen on the big occasion when she's nervous. No, this could happen any time.
Because there's enough cases of her doing it.
Yeah.
Honestly, I think someone's, like you said, career has to be ended, and I wouldn't put it past her to. And I feel awful saying this. She might kill. So I've seen professionals who are careful, who are well versed in their craft, and they've hurt people, and they've seriously injured people, and they've broken necks, or unfortunately we've had deaths in the ring. It's such a dangerous game. Is she worth it? No. Is she going to be the next biggest star? No. Is she selling hundreds of thousands of dollars worth of shirts? No. She is going to seriously hurt someone, if not kill them. Honestly, I feel that strongly about why is this woman in the ring. Why I wouldn't put my body trust, because when you're in the ring, obviously I can't speak for every wrestler. You're putting your body and your health in the trust of your opponent.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I would not trust her with a fucking match, let alone my body. I wouldn't trust her with a pair of scissors. No. She is a risk. She will end someone's career.
Yeah.
I can see it coming.
She will end someone's career, and I'm sorry to whoever that is. I really am.
Yeah.
But get that bitch off my TV.
But to be honest with you, you've been fairly warned.
Yeah.
I don't like to be morbid, but you've been fairly warned. And if you want any fucking evidence, go back and look at the multiple fucking cases of people that she's injured.
Time and time again.
I've never known any history of a female talent having like a whole.
It's such a short amount of time as well. Yeah. It's not like it's spread out over several years. This is match after match after match after match.
Yeah.
It's what do you need to happen, WWE? What do you need to happen to realise that this woman is not good enough? She's not safe. She's just not safe.
Mm.
Yeah.
Just sloppy.
Couldn't tell you.
But even if I was in her shoes now, I'd turn around and go, right, honestly, I need to take a step back. And I can't be in the spotlight because I might hurt someone. She should have the respect of every other woman's health, never mind a woman wrestler, every other woman's health, and say, look, I'm not doing this right. I'm not doing this correctly. I need to go back, learn my craft so I don't hurt anyone again. And she's not doing that. And that, at the end of the day, is on her. So screw her for not doing that. Fuck her for not doing it.
And end of the day as well, you got to think about a lot of what's in the locker room is about respect. Yeah. And nobody's going to respect someone that's just going out there and being sloppy and hurting the other talent. But if she took a step back and go, right, I need to go to the performance centre for 6 months or something like that, practice my trade, get better at it, get safer at it, then come back in 6 months and if you're a safer worker, people are more willing to work with you, show you more respect because you've took the time and go, well, do you know what? She's took 6 months out of her career to get better for our well-being.
Yeah.
It's just better all round.
First of all, fuck WWE for not recognising the trouble she's causing, and secondly, fuck her for not having the wherewithal to do it herself.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the, if they're not going to do it, if WWE aren't going to say no to her, you should realise the harm you're causing to people, realise you're not doing it right, and do something about it.
Yep.
And she's not doing, so fuck her.
So we all in agreement on the females?
Yeah.
Yes.
Anybody got any differentiating comments for the males, bar
Nope.
Flinders?
Well, having heard what I've heard Chris Jericho's been up to, I might change mine to him. But I was going to go on based on someone who was given absolutely everything, and has done fuck all with it. I've gone with Mr. Braun Strowman.
Right, yeah.
Basically because, was it 2017 when his main hype was? 2017, 2018, something like that?
Round about that.
And we all say, oh, he's a champion in the making. And yeah, rightly so. He was really funny with the Roman Reigns thing, going, oh, I'm not finished with you. And then just like throwing him everywhere. It was fucking hilarious, by the way.
Yep.
Oh, I'm not finished with you.
A meme that I still laugh to from this day, to this day.
And then he won the Universal title at WrestleMania.
And just did fuck all.
Sweet. Fuck all. Yes, he's done it. He's done it. He's earned it. Great. What has he done, really? He's had probably one of the stupidest feuds with Bray Wyatt. That should have been money. That feud with Bray Wyatt, that could have been so cool. And then he fucked it. And then what's he doing now? Nothing!
No.
He's back to being absolutely rubbish. The worst heel, I think, if you can call him that, at the minute. I think he's absolutely ridiculous now. All he does now is wear a very tight brown top. He looks like a beefed up Sergeant Slaughter who's had a fight with a lawnmower and lost. Sod him. Can we see the Sod him award, please? That's it for me, yeah.
Right, Bunkle, worst male for you, sir?
Well, I had a struggle of narrowing this down from 4.
Hang on, I know who it is.
I think I can guess 3.
Type of fruit.
He was one.
Who's your favourite butch?
So, this.
Thanks, Lewis.
There's one that I just cannot accept. I cannot fathom it. I cannot. It makes no fuck. It make just. I can't even say it blows my mind. I don't understand how or why anybody would allow this to happen. Fucking dwarf dong sucker himself, Marco Stunted Growth. That fucking little piece of shit. Right? I'm sorry, but this business, right? You're supposed to look remotely threatening, not like a child. And then to go beyond that is his fucking dwarf twin tries to sexually assault a girl at a fucking live event. And at the same event, he gets forced to suck a dildo. Really? And you belong on national television. FTR bumped for this fucking puny piece of shit. The best tag team in the world today got forced to bump for that piece of shit. It's a joke. It's a disgrace. That man shouldn't have a job. Hey, if I was in charge, I would have had him drag out the back and shot on arrival.
Right, he's not Old Yeller. Fucking hell.
No, Old Yeller has more talent and belongs more in a wrestling ring than he does.
Old Yeller
That's
at least
Michael Vick territory you go in there with dogs fighting, pal.
I was going to say Old Yeller had more sort of like threatening than Marco Stunt, because at least when he had rabies, he was a bit.
That could be his new gimmick.
Oh, to be honest with you, Paul, I don't know why I didn't put Flippy McBuff's face, but I've not really sort of like paid much attention to him, so it's.
Willie Seagull. Yeah, we all know how I feel about Willie Seagull.
Yes, indeedy.
What a massive bell end he is.
Yes.
And that's the nicest way I'm gonna think I can say. Oh yeah, you were quite good when you were doing that thing with Ricochet, and oh wow, well done. You can do a somersault.
Good.
Yeah, I can do a somersault.
Good.
I can do it after like 7 pints of Guinness down the fucking promenade. No one fucking gives me 6 stars.
I think there's a massive diatribe on the Lost Art of Wrestling feed where me, Coxy, and Bunkle rip that match a new arsehole.
Yeah.
And I suggest you go back and listen to it, because I think we went into it for 40 minutes where we were fucking brutal. I dislike this gentleman. I really do. And I'm not the biggest fan of Ricochet either. So, go figure.
Well, speaking of ripping stuff apart, the next award on the little thing I've got in my notebook here is Dick Move of the Year. Now,
it's been over a year.
Mine's been quite. Oh, actually, yeah. I was going to say that sort of like mine was sort of like not as. Fuck it, I'm gonna count it as mine anyway.
Yeah, fuck it, let's do it. We make our own rules here on the last part.
Yeah, damn straight.
Make our own.
Pretty much. Mine isn't a conventional Dick Move of the Year, but it's a Dick Move of the Year that seems to be a thing that's continually carrying, well, that's being done in one of the current promotions of modern day wrestling that hasn't been learnt from the past. And I'm talking about the AEW paid promos that are aired on Impact Wrestling. Because there's one promo in particular where it's like Tony Khan, Tony Schiavone. They've got a bunch of wrestlers there. And for 3 minutes on Impact Wrestling TV show, they proceed to bury Impact to try and put their promotion over. Now, many historians, well, if you're not a historian like I am, a certain company in in 1999 into 2000 did something similar of bashing another company whilst trying to get themselves over. They proceeded to go out of business before the midpoint of 2001, that being WCW. This shows to me it's a complete dick move. That you go on a different promotion's broadcast, bury said promotion to try and put yourself over. Yeah. You do realise that sort of like, there's a select number of Impact Wrestling fans that watch the Impact Wrestling product, and burying the product that they like to watch isn't really gonna really get you into good graces.
I'm sorry, but if you watch Impact, you know that it's shit.
Yeah.
And if you don't know that it's shit, I'm telling you.
I realise that, but to have this sort of like inflated fucking head of we can go on another promotion's broadcast, bury their shit, get ourselves over. This is going to get new fan. I'm going to tell you this right here, right now, Tony Khan. That doesn't fucking work. Learn from fucking history, because you piss off the people that you are trying to fucking get to watch your product. Because you're basically insulting them, saying, you're a fucking idiot for watching this product. You are a fucking idiot
for watching Impact. You are a fucking idiot for watching Impact. I just want to say that. You are fucking... Not you personally, but people
yeah, because I don't watch Impact.
People who watch Impact, you're a fucking idiot. I just want to say that.
But no, you not only sort of like alienate the fans who sort of like, watch that particular product. But do you really think you're going to get new viewers on there who are you're basically calling them a fucking idiot? I mean, come on, party people. This ain't fucking rocket science. There is a way of building up sort of like, new fans, getting them to watch your product. Calling them fucking morons for watching the particular product that you're paying advertisement for is not one of them. And I just think it's a dick move, and it makes AEW look like fucking morons.
It really fucking does. We said before, where we said, why? Obviously, AEW fan, yay. But stop comparing yourselves and stop taking shots at other companies. Be your own company. Be your own thing. Do your own thing. Don't it's like pretend the others don't exist. Sometimes it's best to pretend that nothing else exists outside of AEW.
They keep getting this inflated ego, and sort of like getting given the award for best promotion of 2020. That's nothing to. I'd like to add to Tony Khan. That's not saying much during the global bastard. Like, being the best promotion in 2020 is the equivalent of being the best looking person in the Burns unit. It's nothing to fucking speak about.
I'll kind of segue. Uncle, you have no idea how offensive that is. You have no idea.
I'm not Irish. It don't matter to me.
I know people who would be quite upset at that. I know quite a few people who might be upset at that.
So yeah, mine's quite a trivial dick move, but it's a dick move that I think is detrimental to AEW nonetheless, and to wrestling.
Yep. I've got one which is somewhat, I think, sort of been forgotten, but it's sort of also lingering in the background. And it's not actually one promotion. Ooh. It's a multitude of individual actions. And it's it's every single arsehole that was involved in the events that led to the speaking out movement.
Yes.
That obviously it's not a thing that happened last year. Well, it will have done, but it's the events that led up to that over the numerous years. And obviously it all came out last year. And some of the people that we held aloft and sort of looked up to, certainly a few of us on this podcast looked up to a few of these people that got found out to be absolute arseholes.
And fucking scumbags and...
Yeah.
All sorts of nasty words that I don't really want to sort of like repeat, otherwise I'm just going to get a cold shiver down the spine.
Exactly, and it's making me feel awful, even like sort of bringing it back up now. But it needs addressing. Like I say, you're talking about all the scummy shit that's happened.
The fact that the whole, speaking out movement was sort of like brought up, and for the most part, a lot of, there's been a couple of cases. Like, I think there was one recently of sort of like, this promotion somewhere in America was going to do like a charity event. And
may I segue onto my dick move of the year, which was just that very thing. This is a wrestling for a women's charity by Joey. I'm not going to just say his name. By the idiot who had oil and sucked on a lollipop and weared a Hawaiian shirt. We all know who I'm talking about.
And was most prominent in sort of like, people constantly grabbing his private.
I'm going to say yes, who had with YouPorn and stuff like that. His promotion, I'm not going to say the name, would go do a women's charity wrestling event. And this had a few AEW stars, which is how it's got to me. And he's booked himself, and he's on the poster for this damn event.
Oh dear.
Well, he was initially.
Yeah.
He was initially, yeah. I'm happy to report that Tony Khan has pulled all AEW talent from this event regarding this.
And the event's been cancelled.
The subsequent event is said to be cancelled.
The nerve you must have on to not only come back into a scene where you're not welcome anymore, mate. And I say, in fact, not mate, you're just not welcome anymore, you dick. Into an event for a woman's charity, which I'm pretty sure you're not welcome to again, you dick. And I can't, honestly, it can't compute in my head why someone would not only do the things that would ignite the speaking out movement, but then suddenly do this. I don't, whether he thought he was trying to make things right or whatever. No, nobody wants you. And what kind of reception do you think you were going to get when you were going to be announced or come out to the ring? What were you expecting, honestly? Because I guarantee you, people would have picked up their chairs and fucking lobbed them at you as hard as they fucking possibly can, and the rest of them would have walked out. I detest you. I loathe you. You've just got no right to be a part of wrestling anymore. So how dare you come on and try and put on a show like this and put yourself on the poster and in the show itself? Fuck off. Next.
Yeah, I'm just gonna make it sort of like a little like side note, because I feel like I'm gonna regret this sort of like, you know, listening back, that my dick move of the year is like something so fucking trivial. The thing that outraged me the most was, I'm gonna make this very brief so we can get on to Bunkle, was WWE. You know that when they were looking at getting like fans into the performance center, like I think it was like I can't remember. It was probably Kevin Dunn, because you know we'd like to criticize Kevin Dunn, but it was basically him saying that he didn't want anybody who was going to appear in front of the TV cameras to be wearing masks at the height of the global bastard. Yeah, I'm just going to leave that as it is. I'm going to address it to Billy the Boy Bunkle, because that's what I was most enraged about from this past year.
See, now I feel like what I've chosen is like really trivial, and you know, it's so annoying.
You can have two picks if you want. You can go like kayfabe and then sort of like non-kayfabe, because that's what I've decided to circumvent, just to sort of like give myself a little bit of credibility.
Yeah, I suppose I should do that. So, in terms of how can I put it? It's really hard. In terms of dick move, I really struggle to kind of like narrow it down to this year, because there's a lot of things that are like, you know, I would consider a dick move. I'll be honest. But so I kind of was like, I was racking my brains, and all I come down to is Cody Rhodes fucking lying to me, man. Sports-based presentation. I'm still bitter, you lying little bastard. There is nothing sports-based about what you're presenting. It's fucking gymnastics. It's Cirque du Soleil, mate. So I'm still annoyed with that. In fact,
Thank God you don't have the North Korean flags to look back.
I know.
That's all I'm going to say.
And
that is all I'm going to say. To represent your people, I understand, but come on.
Exactly. You know.
Next time we introduce Bunk, can we please introduce him from North Korea?
Hey, why not?
Silly boy.
And then in terms of like, you know, actual dick moves, the WWE laying people off during the pandemic despite making record profits.
They did that so they could still make record profit.
I know, but it just seems wrong. You fired Mike Chioda, who's been working for your company for over 20 years.
Expendable.
Because of the pandemic. It just doesn't seem right. Like I understand, like a small company like the NWA ended up losing a lot of people. But it's a small company that wasn't trading.
Mm-hmm.
The WWE made record profits and fired people so they could still say they made record profits.
Yeah.
It feels dirty.
Mm-hmm.
So that's like the real thing.
Real dick move.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we've covered all the bases of sort of like, scumbag moves in wrestling in 2020.
Yeah.
Final award, gentlemen. You'll be pleased to know. Final award is Botch of the Year. Now, my particular Botch of the Year goes to, and it seems like I'm ragging on AEW. I don't mean to, but they don't help themselves in certain aspects. And
I have a lot in common with AEW.
No, but my particular Botch of the Year happened during a Matt Hardy-Sammy Guevara match.
Oh.
Where they proceeded to take a bump off was it like a scissor lift that they took a bump off of?
Yeah.
So they took a bump off a scissor lift. We're meant to go through a table. I believe like Sammy Guevara very slightly fell through the table. Matt Hardy half went through the table, and the other half of his body smacked off the concrete. Now, there's a particular reason why this botch is so, why I'm so infuriated with this particular botch, and that's because Matt Hardy was concussed the fuck, knocked the fuck out, and they proceeded to keep the fucking match going. Now, we've said multiple times, on multiple, wrestling review shows, if somebody is concussed the fuck out, you can see with your own bare eyes that they are in no condition to compete. You stop the fucking match.
Yeah.
And the fact is, they didn't. They didn't. Especially with this, highly gimmicked fucking match, they decided to keep fucking going. And AEW, this isn't sort of like an isolated incident with AEW, because I'm pretty certain there was a multi-man match a couple of months later, where someone was knocked out in the middle of the ring and they proceeded to keep the match fucking going. Can we stop doing this?
Yeah, okay.
We're past the point of no fucking return.
No, yeah.
The Benoit tragedy was in 2007, and yet this shit continues to happen. Stop it.
Oh,
stop it.
In terms of, like you mentioned, the B word, it's interesting. I've heard lots of different. There's that view you've got there. It's not a view really, it's the fucking truth. And I was watching Paul Heyman on I think it's Inside the Ropes, is it?
Yeah.
And he quite clearly says he said 3 people died that night, only one of them had the choice.
Yep.
And it goes on. I think someone in the crowd was shouting, "Oh, Benoit, that's my guy, that's my boy." And it really, there's the character Paul Heyman, and there's this Paul Heyman, and you can see he's gimmicking, and he's being the Paul Heyman you see on TV in some of these, in some sections of this. But then I saw something come out when this bloke was constantly saying, "My boy, my boy," and he really he flipped into something I've never seen before, and it was quite a serious and quite a deep Paul Heyman. He said, "I don't care about CTE." Was it CTE? Something like that?
Yeah.
Or he said, "I don't give a shit. I don't care. Call it whatever you want." as you said, as a wrestler, one of the best in the world. As a person, fuck him. And I can't. I don't want to dwell on this too much, obviously, because it's been and done, and what's said has been said. It's years ago now. We should get over it. I don't think how. Obviously, it was a horrible thing that happened. But I incline to agree with Paul Heyman. I said, yes, he must have been hit on the head too many times, but you hit me on the head 100,000 times. I'm never ever going to do what he did. That's not me at all. I'll never do that. No matter how many times you hit me on the head, I'm never going to do that. So, fuck him.
Yep, agreed.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Sorry, I was just going to say, leading on from Lewis's point, my actual botch of the year was the multi-man tag match where the guy got knocked out and they continued to do it.
Yeah.
So, I'll just get that out there.
Yeah.
I thought I'd continue the trend for the AEW botches because it's one that just genuinely made me laugh, and I just thought that is the stupidest fucking thing. I think it's Matt Seidel's debut on AEW, where we thought I just have to say it in a plethora of laughter.
We go from the stupid to the fucking downright funny.
It was absolutely hilarious because everyone went from "it's Matt Seidel" to "oh, it's Matt Seidel." And you know what? When I saw him, I thought, "Oh, this is going to be pretty cool." And he jumped on the ropes. Oh, he's going to do his shooting star press that he never. What the fuck is that? And what he proceeds to do is just sort of just throw his knees up in the air and just sort of land on his arse. There's no other way to put it. He just lands on his arse.
It's the Billy Kidman botch of sort of there's a very prominent episode of Nitro where Billy Kidman goes to do sort of like the shooting star press, but instead of jumping up and out, he just jumps up. So he literally just sort of like and just lands on the fucking top turnbuckle.
The best thing
that's the equivalent of what Matt Seidel did.
The best thing about that Billy Kidman botch is if you find it on YouTube, you can hear a guy in the crowd shout, "You fucking cunt," as he misses it.
Can we link that in at some point? We'll just put that on the link. It really made me laugh because I was actually quite excited because I've seen him live and I think he's quite a decent performer in his own right. Yes, he's the same flippy dippy shite that we've AEW already have, but fucking it's Matt Seidel, it's quite a good draw, whatever. And he jumped up and he just fell down. Honestly, Uncle Albert from Only Fools and Horses could have done a better fucking backflip than that. Oh, Matt, we love you, pal, but that was fucking brilliant. What I want now is just someone, every time he tries, you fucking idiot.
Oh, no.
Anyway, God bless.
Right, my botch isn't actually AEW. It's not really an in-ring botch. It's more of a company decision.
Okay.
Ooh.
And that was WWE's decision to have WrestleMania in complete fucking silence. And I'll tell you why. It was that fucking show. I mean, this is for me personally, but it was that fucking show. WrestleMania, night one. WrestleMania. Yeah. It's Wrestling Christmas. Me, wrestling fan. Had just got off the back of a really amazing show in Blackpool a couple of months prior. The build up to WrestleMania, not so bad. Elimination Chamber, pretty decent. Global Bastard hits. Shit, it's only a couple of weeks till WrestleMania. What do we do? I know, no fans. They're understandable. Let's have complete silence. Fantastic, right? So we're going to watch these.
In the performance centre as well.
In the performance centre as well. It may as well have been in a retail unit in Preston. You know, it's
same fucking response.
It's. I tried watching. I'm watching what's his name, fucking Cesaro, and you can see that the match has been edited. It's been edited. It's in complete silence. There's no atmosphere. That match not that match, but that moment of realization is of this is where wrestling is going for the next God knows how long. Destroyed my interest in professional wrestling. Absolutely destroyed it. I stayed up and I watched the first half of watching WrestleMania in air quotations live. I stayed up for 2 hours and I was like, do you know what? Fuck this shit. Bit like Superhuman. Fuck this shit. Off I went to bed. I did not watch another bit of wrestling until Royal Rumble this year.
Well, I mean, there's I mean, the sort of decision to go on, you know, the what WWE decided to do, you know, continue to, you know, not do what New Japan did, not do what the NWA did, not even do what fucking AEW did for like a limited amount of time, of just sort of like, you know, putting a kibosh on it, like, you know, go dark for like a couple of months, and then when things slowly start to improve a little bit, we'll come back fighting. But no, WWE is for the people, pal. We gotta entertain these fans during the global bastard. God damn it!
Well, what they should have done. Well, the thing is, what they had their little sort of like record to keep, didn't they? Was they had to keep Raw going as the longest running episodic program of all time. Yep. Fuck that. You're just going to infuriate fans and lose them. What you should have done is put something interesting on. Like maybe put some of these what WWE 24s on. Maybe the 365s on in Raw's place. Put something interesting on that people may want to watch to tide them over. Maybe put some best of Raw shit on. You know, the clip shows that cost you nothing to make. Put them in the place. Postpone WrestleMania, maybe, you know, put it in place where SummerSlam would be, and just cancel SummerSlam for the year. Move straight on to Survivor Series, because you're going to lose a big 3 show anyway. Yeah. You're just not going to infuriate any fans. Like, I'm probably not the only one that went, you know what, fuck this shit, it's not for me. You know, put something else on.
Borderline embarrassing, really.
I wouldn't go embarrassing. I mean, they put their effort in. It turned a lot of fans off. Yeah. A lot of fans. And it showed that wrestling needs crowds. Yeah. Wrestling needs interaction. Without those interactions.
Yeah. A lot like football.
No, I'd say less so. Football, you can get around it because it's an actual sporting spectacle. You can actually, you know, it means something. You know, they're still there. They're still with it. Don't get me wrong. Fans are part of it, but they're not an integral part of it.
It is for fucking watching it, mate. Trust me. Trust me, the amount of fucking football I've watched, and sort of like, you know, whether you're listening in with the piped in crowd noise or you're listening without the piped in crowd noise, it's fucking not the same. And it's exactly the same with wrestling. It's sort of like when you take fans out of that equation, it misses its je ne sais quoi, as they would probably say in France.
Absolutely. Well, you compare it to other sports, like I seem to like for example, motorsport. And it does not matter a fucking jot whether there's one fan there or not. It does not take away from the spectacle one iota. And it just made me fall in love with motorsport even more last year. Yeah, because motorsport last year was my happy place.
Yeah, well, part of the reason why I'm sort of looking forward to WrestleMania this year is because there's going to be not a full stadium crowd in fucking Tampa Bay territory, but, you know, similar to, well, they're looking at doing sort of like similar crowds to what they did with the Super Bowl.
But there was noise at the Super Bowl. That's the thing.
Well, yeah.
So it's better. I mean, end of the day, you're talking, 30,000 people maybe in there for WrestleMania. And you think about it, for a real bog standard pay-per-view that's not in an outdoor arena, you're talking 15,000, 16,000 people in an arena. That's going to be still a fuck ton of noise.
Yeah.
So it's a lot better than what it was.
Mm-hmm.
It is
A lot better.
Yeah,
This is it.
It's doing the best with the tools you're given, unfortunately. Obviously, the global bastard has absolutely decimated not just wrestling, but many other sports and God knows lives. But I think it's one of those things that now that I don't want to say things are coming to an end, but the vaccine programs are coming out. People are getting vaccinated. Go and get. And that's another thing. If you're offered disease vaccines, go and fucking take one.
Exactly.
Please, for the love of fucking God and everything. If you want your normal life and you don't want to kill your friends or family, get fucking vaccinated. Ignore the shit you see on Facebook. Honest to God, I've seen enough to last a lifetime. Please get vaccinated if you want to return to a normal life anytime soon. At the end of the day, that's what we want. I want to be able to go to a football match. I want to stand there with me pie, with me pint, and fucking enjoy football. I want to go
to the
wrestling.
fucking pub.
We want to go to pubs. So a little message from us: go and get vaccinated.
Yep.
Back onto the wrestling. Obviously, we saw the true impact of all this more with NWA, a company that I feel was really starting to get going and really building up something. And obviously, they had the pay-per-view planned. Obviously, the main event being Nick Aldis and some dickhead.
Yeah.
With the Crockett Cup. And that was going to be amazing initially. And they literally had to press a massive reset button. And it was I can't remember what day it was, but we shared it on our little group chat that the NWA deleted all the videos from YouTube, and there was the moment where we thought, this is it, this is bad. And thankfully they're back, and they're coming back, and they're bringing out a new show. In terms of WrestleMania this year, did you say they're going to have a crowd sort of like the Super Bowl did?
Yeah.
Sort of a similar attendance to it.
Well, good luck to the people that are going in there. Hopefully all safety protocols are adhered to. Have a good time. With whatever shit they come up with. Hopefully Rob Gronkowski isn't there this time.
Oh, he'll be there. He'll be there.
He'll be wrestling, mate. Wrestling.
He'll do some sort of guest appearance on the pre-show.
Shaq's the biggest disaster this year. Fuck, mate.
Give it time.
This is it. But yeah, I'm actually kind of looking forward to WrestleMania. I'm looking for an excuse to get back into my pro wrestling. End of the day, I like my wrestling still. It can't be helped. The global bastards took it away from me in a way, sort of like, because the way wrestling's had to continue, it's not been for me. Don't find it entertaining whatsoever. I need that fan interaction with the crowd. It just adds an element to it that she's completely missing.
Yep.
But the fact that they're allowing fans even small amounts in helps. And I'm willing to give it a go. I want to get back into it, and I'm willing to give it a go. So I will be watching WrestleMania this year. Maybe not live.
No.
I'm getting old now. I can't do that shit no more.
Yeah, we're old people. We're so old.
I'm looking forward to doing it. So yeah, I'll give it a go, and we'll see. So yeah, I kind of am.
That's the end. That's the end of the Arties, by the way. That was the last award that we had.
That was the Arties. Well,
see you next year.